Hello everyone and welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we have some pretty big news. We have new bundle, new skill, new deck build box, which is a bit weird. Let's like I guess start with that deck build box. Not I think what most people were hoping for. We were kind of hoping for like a new mini box or something, but it's fine, right? It's not terrible. We still did get new cards, which is a good thing. It's just would have liked more cards, right? That's kind of what we're looking at. Dr. Alex with the subscription for 7 months. This man, obviously my partner in crime over on the YouTube channel when we play character draft in the modern game. So, you know, new box and bundle kind of, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Alex. It's, a lot of the cards do seem a little bit weak.
I
think there
Alex
is
just subscribed
potential
for 7
there,
months.
because
New
two of
box
the
and
new skills we've
bundle
got are kind of just Dawn, right? Seal of Dawn, which has been doing okay recently in events. So maybe there's something. I'm just saying, right? I think there's going to be a mini box very soon, probably within 2 or 3 weeks. See, that is what I've seen going around Waltz, because I think it was Brad who said it, and this was the way that Duel Links tends to work is everything that we've had leaked will come out between now and like the next big like leak season, and that is like a month away. So it has to, basically everything that was leaked is extremely likely to come out in the next month. So yeah, within 2 or 3 weeks is basically what we're expecting. So it does make sense, right? I already dropped 6k gems on the new cards, so I hope there's something good. Again, there is potential, right? I don't want to just say it's flat out going to be terrible. I don't want to say it's flat out going to be amazing. None of the individual cards are great, right? I want to start off by prefacing that. But because of the skills we've got, we can maybe make something of them. So a lot of the cards we got will be good later because they're kind of like parts of fusions, or they do stuff with cards that come out a lot later on. But the skills that we've got now do make them somewhat okay, right? And I think, again, we're going to have to really test it to really find out. There's leaks on the Duel Links meta too. Yeah, we talked about the leaks last stream, or it might have been the stream before that even. And obviously we've seen about half of those come out. I don't think we've got anything new so far. I'll have you know that Vanilla level 7 is broken as 2300 attack for 2 tributes. Yes. Let's not like dance around the fact that Volcano Dragon sucks, right? On its own, that card is straight garbage. But the skill that comes along with it does let you boost it up to 29. So when you think about it like that, it's kind of like a slightly worse Ancient Arise Dragon. An Ancient Arise Dragon is a good card. On top of the fact that you can also include the Fire Guardian, which is a 2100 attacker that can go up to 27, which again is just like using Servant of Dawn with a Flame Cerberus that we're currently seeing, as well as it's kind of like the Harpy skill on a Harpy monster. So it's nothing like crazy, right? Let's not blow it out of proportion, but it might be playable. I don't think most people expected Manakist's dinosaur sort of Servant of Dawn aggro list to do as well as it did and win a tournament, right? That deck struggles, I think, to get to your opponent's life points. Like, it doesn't really have any piercing, it doesn't really have any direct attacking or burn, but it still managed to do quite well just by having a bunch of guys that can gain a little bit of attack. And now we've got a bunch of skills that give a bunch of guys a little bit of attack. So from that perspective, it might be okay, right? We'll have to actually test it out and see, I think. Mini box leaks. Well, we talked about the rush duel, or the speed duel. So I saw there was speed duel leaks. And we've already obviously got this mini box. Let me have a quick refresh and see if I can see anything. I'm not seeing anything new for rush. Just the speed one. I mean, the speed box is really cool. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit as well. Which is, for me, disappointing. Now, I really like Prank Kids. We'll get into this in a little bit. I'm just going to, like, go with this. But I really do like Prank Kids. I would just like more, right? I wanted stuff for the decks that I actually play, right? Speedo, yeah, leaks come out today. Yeah. All right, let's go through. Let's see who's in chat first. Let's point that out. So we got Grand, we got Waltz, we got I Can't Kill Anyone, we got Quick Quicks, we got Dr. Alex, we've got Altarius. Welcome everyone in. I hope everyone's having a great day so far, especially with all the leaks and the new box and all the new stuff. Hello Tomato. Noodle seems fine. Too bad they have no Pyro back row pop. Yes. It is a little bit sad, but to be fair, a lot of the decks that have been doing quite well aren't even using their archetypical back row pops. Most of the time, at the moment, we're seeing Galaxy Cyclone, and we're seeing Hammer Crush. Obviously, Hammer Crush with Hammer Crush Deal. And if you're not playing Hammer Crush Deal, most people are just on Galaxy Cyclone anyway. So it's a bit weird, but I think a large part of that is because of how prevalent Talismanic Seal Array is at the moment. It can kind of empty your graveyard, so you get the extra draw anyway. But obviously, it should be easier to use your archetypical back row hate anyway, so it's interesting that that's been kind of seeing that kind of representation. But I guess we will jump in and take a look at some of the new stuff that we've got and talk a little bit about it. So if we hop over to Duel Links Meta, we'll start off by talking about the deck build pack Scorching Flame Burst, right? This is our brand new deck build box, and again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but deck build box, I think a lot of people were hoping for something a bit more, right? We were hoping for a few more cards. Because of the leaks as well, I think a lot of people got the hopes up to have a lot more cards, right? People were expecting things like Ice Arc, we're expecting some Psychic support, we're expecting Metagearus, and Metagearus is quite a big one. Metagearus is obviously a very exciting card, whereas Shock Dragon is not as exciting a card. It's not a boring card, it's just, this is more of a tech card than like a build around, and that makes it a little bit uninteresting, in my opinion. But we did obviously get some interesting other bits, right? Like we got a Dragius alt art, which is fine. I think it's maybe a little bit early for alt arts, but yeah, you know, it's gonna be fine. You think Metagearus is going to be limit 3? Almost certainly. What is Metagearus? Okay, we can look at Metagearus quick. Metagearus. So Metagearus is the Steel Strike Dragon. 2500 attack is pretty standard for Geas Dragons. This is generally a theme, is Geas Dragons tend to have 2500 attack, they tend to fuse into something, and they tend to attack twice. So Steel Strike Dragon Metagearus has send a level 7 or higher dragon type monster from your hand to the graveyard, which is really quite a costly effect. But again, a lot of the Geas Dragons also have this requirement attached to them. This turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by your opponent's trap card effects. Also, it can make a second attack on a monster during the battle phase in which it attacked a monster. Notably, it doesn't have to kill a monster like Dragius does. It just has to have attacked a monster, which, you know, can come up. Rush late. Hey, Dragson, welcome on in. I would be shocked if Metagearus wasn't at limit 3, right? Effectively, being able to attack twice is just such a powerful effect, and obviously Dragius has the bonus that it can attack directly, but Metagearus could just clear the way for something else to attack directly. Now, that something else is probably not going to be a 2500 attacker, I mean, it might be, but chances are it'd be more like a 1500 attacker, but it's still very good, right? As well as getting immunity to battle destruction and trap card effects is really good. That means we can use this to crash into other 25s. If we use the skill that was leaked, it goes up to 26, so it'll attack over most things anyway. As well as later down the line, it will get a fusion in Sturdy Strike Dragon Metagearus Star F, which again is kind of like Metagearus on steroids. Now obviously we're not expecting this for a very long time, probably like either right at the end of this year or early next year. But we can send the top card to the graveyard, all face-up monsters in your field, gain 500 attack to the end of the turn. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters, so, you know, boost your whole board, 2 attacks, really, really good. Or all face-up monsters on your field cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's trap card effects to the end of this turn. Also, this card can attack twice. So being able to attack twice is always really, really good. But, especially when stuff like Mirror Force comes out, being able to make your whole board unable to be destroyed by trap cards is really good. It's really, really good. So I would expect this card to see a ton of play if it does come out, which means Metagearus is worth picking up, but I would assume we're going to get things like deck build packs when the fusions do come out and reprint a lot of these cards anyway. So they really want us to play like 5 separate dragon decks instead of putting them all in the same deck. Well, it's because the dragons are really strong. For some reason, Konami really likes dragons. And they keep making really strong dragons. And it pushes a lot of the other decks out of the way. Now, the issue you're going to have with Metagears is we need to send level 7 or higher dragon monsters from our hand to the graveyard. Now, you're obviously going to be playing 3 copies of Metagears itself. So you've kind of got 2 others as the discard fodder. But you're going to want other discard fodder as well. And a lot of the other options are going to be limit 3'd, so you're not going to be able to actually get a hold of them. So it's going to be a bit weird. It's going to be very, very strange. So more of a monster battle focused Dragus. Yeah, basically. So again, alt art, neat. I don't know why Dragonic Slayer's in here. I guess because we just have some of the other support. We also have Burning Blaze and Clear Ice, which is a bit odd because we don't have Ancient Arise in here. We've instead got Slayer. And we don't have a lot of the other good... I mean, I guess we do, like, kind of. We got the Sports Dragons, we've got the Twin Edge, Dragorite. These are all Dragonic Resonance cards, as well as the Gravity Press. So I guess if you want to play Resonance, it's kind of all in here. But as for our newer cards, we've got the Shock Dragon, which is pretty cool. Send the top card of the deck to the graveyard. Until the end of this turn, all face-up monsters with the highest attack on your opponent's field is attack equal to the attack of the face-up monster with the highest attack on your field. This card can only attack position monsters this turn. So that means, at the very least, when this guy comes down, the biggest monster on your opponent's board is going to lose 1600 attack. If we high roll it, and your opponent has 2 or more monsters that have the same attack, we can reduce all of those monsters. And if we have like a 2500 attacker on our field, we can reduce them all by 2500, which is pretty good. This card basically has seen a lot of play in the physical game as like a one-off, kind of out maximums and other kind of problematic type monsters, but it's not really a build around. This is usually like a teched one-off, so... The one thing I would say is reducing your opponent's monster's attack and getting in for some free damage in Duel Links is a bit better. In Duel Links, generally, we have more attack because we have skills that just throw attack points around, as well as 2000 less life points means OTKing is going to be a lot more prevalent, so Shock Dragon might have more of a home in Duel Links than it did in the physical game. Ancient Arise, probably, if the skill permits it. I needed the 3rd Dragonic Slayer, so I appreciate it. I mean, you know, all's well that ends well. I think this box is good for new players because it gives you the full dragon deck, which seems fine. Yes, the dragon deck is decent, right? I think, realistically, Dragonic Slayer and the Dragonic Resonance deck has not been doing a ton yet. But we have only just had our Sports Dragons taken off of the list. Maybe we'll start seeing it rise to prominence a little bit more, but I'm almost not really expecting it to. I think it's going to realistically sit around a tier 3 deck, and getting your hands on a tier 3 deck is fine. You'll be able to win some games, you'll be able to do okay, but I don't think it's going to be like a top tier contender, but maybe that's good as a free-to-play option, right? You can run 1 Shock Dragon, 1 Dragus, 1 Phoenix in the Fire Dragon deck, which seems fine, yes. And I've actually got those exact ratios in my initial build of the Fire Dragon deck, which we'll be looking at a little bit later. So the other new UR we got is Semi-Ruler the Dark Summoner. Very, very weird, and I do not know why this card is limit 3. Which is something I think we've said at least a couple of times, like Trike Fox, Earthbound. It's another one of those weird ones where we can send a card from our hand to the graveyard, which already kind of sucks, so I don't really want to be discarding cards. Special summon 1 monster with 0 attack from your hand face up to your field. It gains attack equal to its original defense. Now, our best targets for this right now are going to be our Urashima Sage and our Urashima Hermit, which are 0-18 and 0-2000 respectively. And then they come out as a 2000 attack or an 1800 attack, which is not great. It's really not great, especially since the skill that we've got for these cards requires us to lose a card from our hand and then add Semi-Ruler. So we're not even plussing. So we're not even going to mitigate Semi-Ruler's discard. We're just going to have to add Semi-Ruler to our hand, then immediately have to tribute summon it. So this is where it gets a bit funky, right? So we need to have like a normal summon. Then, right, so I believe the skill, if we go and check out our skill quick, I'm almost certain it was, where is it? Lifetime missions and bundles. Okay, it's not in here, I don't think. Or is it? No, it is. It was this one. So we can reveal a level 6 fairy. So we reveal our fairy. We then put a card from our hand back into our deck and get out the Semi-Ruler. So then we have to normal summon, tribute both for our semi-ruler, because we can't really cheat it out. Then we have to discard a card, and then we summon out the level 6 that we revealed, right? So that's a 5-card combo to get out a 2500 attacker, and then an 18 or a 2000 attack monster that can attack and then change to defense. I don't know, it doesn't seem great. It does not seem great, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't seem good, truthfully. Yeah, that is exactly my thoughts. They should give us Millennium Shield next bundle. I mean, they could do that. They could also give us Labyrinth Wall, since that's now come out. I don't think it would be probably good. Like, I don't think massive defense monsters are great for the game, and we have just got another one in Shock Dragon. But again, getting your monsters to around 3000 attack doesn't actually seem too difficult right now. Attacking over 25 specifically is pretty simple, right? Thunder can do it quite realistically, Harpies can do it, Dragons can do it, Spellcasters can do it, the Cyburst can do it, Noodles can do it. Like, there are so many good decks right now that can attack over 25, so that's not a big problem. 3000 defense is a bit tougher. There's now a lot less decks that can just attack over that, so now you're looking at, like, getting rid of it in some other way, so it's a bit awkward, especially since a lot of the cards we have to deal with high attack monsters don't work on defense monsters. Oh yeah, the new Cyber stuff comes out from the event. Yeah, we're not expecting too much from these new cards. It's what, basically Viscom Nanotron, which is really weird. If the only monsters in your graveyard are 3 Cyburst monsters, so already it's very weird. We need exactly 3 Cyburst monsters and nothing else in the graveyard. Well, I suppose we're going to spell traps. Add all Cyburst type monsters from your graveyard to your hand, then place this card from your field on the bottom of the deck. Very, very weird. Very weird. And then we do have the Yoptron, who is only usable if we have the Beyond Curiosity skill, which lets us place Femtron, Atron, and Zeptron from our graveyard on the bottom of a deck in any order, send this card from your field to the graveyard, draw 3 cards, then send 3 cards from your hand to the graveyard. Which it's another one of those weird cards where we don't plus, and we don't even break even, right? Because we have to lose this card and send 3 other cards, and we're gaining 3 cards. So we're minusing 1 to use this effect, but the whole point is just to filter through our deck to get to our maximum, right? That's the whole logic. Shock Dragon seems awkward. Yes, Shock Dragon is awkward. The biggest issue with this card is it's level 7, right? So we have to tribute out 2 monsters. And if we want a bigger reduction than the 16, we basically need to have a way to cheat an extra body onto the field. So something like our Sports Dragons. Because otherwise, you know, we go summon, tribute Shock Dragon, and then we only have 2 bodies left. So you'd have to have a way to +1 to be able to get out another boss monster. And even that is a bit awkward, right? Even if you get out like a Dragius plus a Shock Dragon, unless your opponent's like board is very specific, that's usually not just going to like straight up in the game. So yeah, UR's fine, a little bit underwhelming, I guess. And if we get into our SRs, Combustion Crisis is very weird. Very, very weird. So I was not expecting this card to come out at all. And yet here it is. Actually, is the music a little bit too loud? Let's double check that. It's on the usual volume. Okay, that's fine. So, Combustion Crisis. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Then if your opponent has 2 or more face-up level 7 monsters on their field, you can shuffle 1 monster from your opponent's field into the deck. So, this is a weird card, right? A lot of the time, this is going to do nothing, and it's just not going to be live. But when it is good, it's going to be unbelievably powerful. So I feel like there'll be some situations where you have to commit to 2 7s, and you'll be like, my opponent's probably not on it because it's very situational. And then they'll flip it up, and you'll feel terrible. I think that's kind of what this is looking like for now. Wait, is this Imptaling or Combustion? Who could truly say? Imptaling seems like, I mean, this says Combustion Crisis, but I don't know, it might be a different name in the actual game. Let's take a gander quick. See what it's called in-game. Might help if I actually click on the right deck. In-game, it is called Combustion Crisis. So we know that now. Now we know. But it is labeled Combustion. The name on the card is Impaling. Oh, that might be like its Japanese translation name. Yeah, so basically, when cards get released in Japan, we have translators that translate them as best they can, right? So whenever a card gets officially released, so if it comes out in a Switch game, or if it comes out in Duel Links, we get its official name. But until that, we just have the translated name. And that's kind of how we go with it. Hey, Tom. Hey, Zaki boys. Welcome on in. But even right now, I don't think Combustion Crisis is going to be super good immediately. And the reason is, most people are going to be on these newer decks and testing them out. And we've got what? We've got level 8 and level 6 monsters for the semi-ruler stuff. Shock Dragon, and I guess the Dragon deck that's coming out is actually quite a level 7 centric deck, as we do have the Volcano Attack, we have the Shock, we have Multi-Strike Dragon Dragius, but that deck does also use a lot of level 6s, so you can use just the Fire Guardians, and that will also kind of mess it up a little bit. The Noodles do have Spice, but the other Noodle we're getting is Extra Spice, who again is a level 8 monster, which means once again, it's not going to work against that. They just sometimes decide to change their names, yeah. But a lot of the current decks in the meta also aren't using a ton of level 7s. 7's Axel Road plays the one level 7 monster. You've got Harpies that basically don't play any level 7 monsters. You've got so many decks in the meta right now just not on 7s. So again, when Combustion Crisis is good, it's going to be really good. But when it's not good, it's going to be completely dead. And I think that's why I'm a little bit awkward with it. Oh wait, it's level 7? I thought it was 7 or higher. Now, if it was 7 or higher, it would be a lot better. Because it's specifically 7, I think this is awkward. I think, again, you could tech this card as like a one-of, and then just blow people out occasionally. But it's like... I'm trying to like think of a good like speed example of like, you put a card in your deck that doesn't work against so much stuff, but like when it is good, it's really good. It's like... I don't know. It's hard to come up with a good example, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be great, to be perfectly honest. Dragon, Resonance, and Thunder are the only noticeable, but it's not worth running with so much variety. Yeah, I mean, almost every deck, not every single deck, almost every deck has the capability to get out 2 level 7s, but they can, a lot of the time just choose not to, as well as that shouldn't be happening most of the time, so it's a bit of a weird trap. Then we get Extra Spice, and Extra Spice is a really cool card. I really do like this card. We can send one face at Pyrotech normal monster from my field to the graveyard, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, and draw 1 card. Now, the very important effects here, obviously, I guess it's both, but replacing a card is great, right? That means we can filter. If we have too many low levels, we can just filter through. The current skill we have access to is also really good for filling this, and inflicting 1,000 burn is really good. That is 1/6 of your opponent's life points, as well as this now gives Noodles a way, it's not a very quick way, but it is a way to kill your opponent through defense monsters, which is something the deck has been sorely needing. So that is something, right? Like Gnomes, good for when opponents... Yes, exactly. Like Gnomes against my Fluffle deck is completely useless. So whenever people drop it on me, I'm like, okay, I don't care, right? But against decks where it's extremely important when they're trying to Xyz constantly, it is extraordinary. Oh, I guess Synchro as well is extremely important. So a few days ago, I tried to climb ranked with Hell's Invasion, but then I realized they kind of changed the skill before the skill changing list even released. Yes. So this is also really, I don't understand the logic, but yeah, they did the update where the skills got their rebalance, but they didn't change the text on the skills until like today. So in my mind, it would be harder to change the functionality of the skill than to change the text. But apparently that is not how that works, and it's very, very strange. But yeah, that was a thing that everyone knew of, right? Was that the skills had changed, but the text had not been updated. Yeah, Spice and the new skill seems good. So, again, I don't want to say Noodles are just suddenly going to be really good, right? But I do like this card. I do also like the fact this will eventually be part of a fusion, which is also a pretty good one as well. If we go and look at Extra Spice, we can see it and its fusion. So its fusion is Meat Spice, the Special Noodle Ninja. So during the main phase that you special summon this card, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So again, if we're able to summon out Extra Spice, thank you for the follow, Rado Pastel. But we can burn our opponent for 1,000, draw a card, then fuse it into this, which then inflicts 1,000 damage to your opponent, and then draws us another card. And these don't require a neg, right? Well, I guess you kind of do, because you have to summon out your extra spice, summon out your fusion material, activate your fusion spell. So we're minusing 2 to get this guy out, but then he's replacing one of those 2, which is already pretty good. Burning your opponent for 2,000 immediately is also going to be really, really good. And then if we drew by this effect, we can set a Noodle Art of Savory and or Noodle Art of Sorcery from your graveyard, which is another plus. So it completely replaces it, which is pretty good, right? This is actually one of my favorite fusions in all of Rush Duel, because it was never really like crazy good, but it's always been good enough, and it's always had the ability to like kind of gain a little bit of advantage, which, you know, it doesn't really, because you replace what you've lost, but it's still good. And then we come on to Urashima Warrior. Urashima Warrior is a bit of a weird one. Shuffle 1 monster with 0 attacks when you're given into the deck. Choose 1 face-up warrior monster on your field. Your opponent can activate trap cards when it declares an attack. So it's awkward. We do get better cards with these sorts of effects a lot later on. Things like this battle phase, your opponent can't activate traps when you declare attacks with anything, which is a lot better. But this is fine. The main issue I have with this card is that we have to shuffle a 0 attack monster from our graveyard into the deck, which means if we want to use this in like Dark Arts of Celerity, it's going to get a bit weird. So we basically want to only really be using this with Semi-Ruler and the Urashima Sage, which means I think this card's actual use is going to be a little bit limited. But we'll have to see how that actually ends up being, because this can sometimes allow you to like close a game. Like, let's say you could use this with a... Is it Kimi-Ruler, the one that can attack direct? Yeah, Kimi-Ruler. Then your opponent can't respond to that direct attack. Even if they have the guard, they can't stop it, for example. So could be really, really good in that sort of situation. I think I'll have to test a lot with this card to work out where I want it to be. Because in the physical Rush game, where you have a 40-card deck, you just kind of would use this as just filler. But where we only have 30 cards, each card spot in the deck is a lot more impactful. So I don't know if I'd be able to find room for this, but maybe. So draw 2 with a 2k burn and a set card. That sounds good. Yeah. And the set card is like, it's nothing special. I think it either gives you 300 attack and piercing, or it reduces your monster's attacks. I think it's Savory is the other one. Which will reduce, which we'll talk about this now, I guess. 1 attack position monster in your opponent's field loses attack equal to the number of face-up pyro monsters on your field times 400 until the end of the turn. So this card is, I think, better than a lot of people are giving it credit for, but it's not crazy. So the biggest issue this card has is it's the number of face-up pyro monsters you have on your field, whereas our skill doesn't force us to use just pyros. So we want to use non-pyros because we're not locked into them, but we want to be using pyros because Savory gets a big boost from it. But being able to weaken a monster without having a cost attached to it is generally pretty good. Obviously, Talismanic Seal Array is kind of just better than this card, but the benefit this card has is, 1, we don't need to have our graveyard set up, and 2, we also do not need specifically to shuffle cards back from our graveyard into a deck, and generally, the Noodle decks don't want to do that, right? We want to have a ton of monsters in our graveyard for our Spice the Elite Noodle Ninja. So if we're playing Spice, Noodle Art of Savory is not, like, awful, but at the same time, if we are playing Spice, we probably want our other Noodle Art anyway, because it boosts all our attacks, so it's an awkward one. But I think there is something to be said for Savory not being completely garbage. But again, I think we have to do a lot of testing to actually work it out. And then next up we have Urashima Sage. So change this attack position card to face up defense position. Change 1 attack position monster on your opponent's field to face up defense position. If you do, it loses 600 attack at the end of this turn. I, again, liked this card when it came out in the physical Rush game, because we didn't have many good ways to attack over 2500 attack monsters. In Duel Links, we have a ton, right? We have just skills that do that shit for us. So I am not super thrilled with Urashima Sage. Obviously, you can do the cute little combo with Semi-Ruler, Sage, and the skill. I still don't think that's going to be super, super great, but we'll have to wait and see. And then the last new card, Volcano Attack Dragon. A drill instructor for the Fire Dragon Kingdom's elite strike forces. The scorching heat he releases sweeps away those who would harm the king. Now, this effect is quite obtuse, and you really have to read into it to fully understand what exactly it does. But yeah, but basically this is 2200 vanilla, right? It doesn't do a ton, but the skill can boost this guy's attack by 600 up to 29. 29 is important, especially since it's level 7, because that means even if we attack into a counter pigeon, we'll only lose 700 attack, putting us down to 22, which means we can still attack over the 21 attack of a Harpy Lady, which is probably the best, like, case scenario for that. as well as the fact that the skill when played with this card will let us grab out a back row Hate for Dragons, which is okay. Mostly, though, I think the skill is going to be used with our Fire Guardian, who's just a 2700 attacker, which is still pretty good. So that is it for our skills, or our new cards from the box, but we did get one other new card, the Hermit Soul. This card is a little bit awkward, and I think realistically, as is, it's only going to see play in the Semi-Ruler deck. So there's not really much to talk about it there. It's okay, right? Unfortunately, again, this card doesn't work on maximums because you can't change them to defense position. So it's a little bit awkward there. And it looks like we are about to get hit with the Ages. So we will just wait until that finishes. That is if the Ages actually start. It looks like they're not actually starting yet. It looks like it might have a little bit of delay. In which case, we'll start talking about Buffered Slime. Buffered Slime is a weird one. So I mentioned this in the video about today, but it's really good into level 8 OTK monsters, like Guildford and like Cyber Twin Dragon. We don't really have any of those in Duel Links, so I'm not sure how good this is going to be. It's a little bit awkward. When the opponent's level 8 or lower monster declares an attack, so again, doesn't work on fusions, which we don't have yet, so that doesn't matter too much. It doesn't work on maximums. So the top card of the deck to the graveyard. This turn, you take no battle damage. Also, if your life points are 3,000 or more, you take 2,000 damage. So you could use this like very early on in a turn. Guarantee you're not going to like just immediately die and lose 2,000 life points, which is like decent, I guess. It's kind of like a weird Waboku that can burn you for 2,000. I think, realistically, this card is going to be pretty good. I think this card is going to see... Oh, there goes the ad break. Alright, so we'll just wait for that now. Alright, that should be Ages over. So, yeah, Buffered Slime. Weird. It's like a Waboku that can burn you. I think being able to stop yourself from dying to anything other than maximums is still pretty good. This card will be okay in situations where you don't get 3 monsters in defense. Or if your opponent has, like, Piercing or a Dragius or something, right? As long as you're... It's awkward to, like, really picture, but I do think Buffered Slime is going to be really good. And the reason being, there are no other cards in the game that just flat out say, you don't take battle damage for the rest of the turn. So this is a really good way to deal with that, and even if your opponent had a level 9 monster, which is a little awkward, well, another thing we should also specify is Dragonic Resonance is a thing. So this card will not work against Dragonic Resonance that is, you know, reached the big resonance board. So it's a little bit awkward there as well. Probably for heavy metal, but they just nerf it recently, although see the use for Dragius as they deal no damage. I'm not getting it anyway until a new box drops in the bundle. I am exactly the same, Waltz. I refuse, on principle, to waste my gems on, what was it, 17 or whatever it is packs of the current, well, yeah, 17 packs of the latest box, which is Evolving Resonant Heart. I'm not doing that. I will wait for the new box to come out before I get this, even if I do think this card is going to be good. I think this card is generic enough and good. Like, the only time this doesn't work is against the maximum. Most of the time, we're not seeing Harpy Maximum and we're not seeing your Drago Maximum hit the board, even in the 2 decks that they can be used in. The only one we're really seeing is Magnum Overlord, and that's the only deck this card won't work against, really. Obviously, again, there are specific cases where your opponent will be able to summon out your Drago, or they will be able to summon out the Harpy Lady Sisters, and it will just beat you up out of nowhere, but those should be few and far between compared to Magnum Overlord. So yeah, that's it for them. We've already talked a little bit about the nail stuff, so I guess we'll go on to the speed stuff. Now, again, I am not a huge speed player, right? I was disappointed by this box, though, and the reason being that this was an Arc V box. And the 2 things I was expecting the most, or hoping for the most, I should say, were Bluffle support and the Ancient Gear support for Dennis. And we got neither. and that disappoints me to no end. Now, to be fair, there are some really cool shit in here. I'm not very happy about Altergeist support. I don't really like Altergeist. I don't like playing against them. Raiders Knight is cool. I do quite like Raiders Knight. I think it's useful for the decks it's really, really good in. And obviously the best card to use it with is going to be Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon, which is, again, a really cool boss monster. I don't think this card is, like, crazy, just because this loses to, like, most generic traps, right? Like Crackdown, IDP, Compulse. So, like, really good, but not, like, super broken crazy, just win the game on the spot. I think Damage Juggler and Trick Clown are really cool. I'm quite happy to see them. And then obviously we do have the Prank Kids, which a lot of people have been really looking forward to. Obviously we don't have Meow Meow Mew, so it's going to be a little bit weaker on that front. I think Prank Kids will probably still be okay. The issue is they're not going to have a skill, right? Or I suppose they might get a skill when it comes out. I don't know if we've had a... I'm pretty sure there wasn't a skill leaked for Prank Kids. Then Fabled stuff. Fabled's neat. Sure, bring out more Fabled stuff, that's fine. I don't mind bringing out new Fabled stuff. And then the rest of this is all, again, just kind of support for those already spoken decks. Raid Raptor stuff is cool. Again, I'm quite happy to see Arc Rebellion and Raiders Knight. I think those are pretty cool cards. I think there have been leaked for... Yeah, we have had skills leaked. But we had a Fable skill leaked. We had Phantom Knights, Raid Raptors, and a couple of others. But I do not believe we had... I think we actually did have an Altergeist skill leak as well. But I do not believe we had a Prank Kids skill leak. They did Unlimited Meluseek recently, so probably to help them speed up the duel and stall out longer. Yeah, I mean, again, if Altergeist aren't stalling out, the deck's fine, right? It's a little bit annoying to, like, try and chew through their, like, infinite loops. But it's okay. If Altergeist is going to kill me quickly, I don't care. When Altergeist is going to make me sit in a game for 25 minutes, then I'm like, could we just do this a bit quicker, please? You know? My Rockets and Lunalight be happy to use Raider Knight. I mean, Raider Knight is, again, just a really cool card, right? This card is almost seems a little bit silly, right? Just being able to go into an Xyz Dragon, the Phantom Knights, or Raid Raptor Xyz monsters will rank higher or lower than this card. I don't think most people ever go lower, but there's probably something interesting you can do with it going lower. But yeah, that's it for the speed. And I think that's it, right? That's everything. That's everything we've got to talk about. So, with that said, we're probably going to just hop into some games. And the first deck I want to try out is going to be Noodle Ninjas. I want to try the noodles. I want to see how they play. I think the deck build that we're using at the moment, which I guess we'll just show off quickly, I do not think this is the best build. I think this is just something we've thrown together to see how it feels. I think there are too many high levels in this deck. I just want to see how it plays for a bit, and then we'll go from there. Hey, Manicist, welcome. And you just missed us talking about all the new reveals, and we're about to play some games. Yeah, the new skill also helps enable them more to actually speed up from what I heard, but Crackdown can be used more now for them. I mean, yeah, that's basically how we kind of go, right? We rotate through the generic traps, all the generic Limit 3 traps until... you know, whichever one beats most of the current meta. So, all right, let's hop in. Let's play some noodles. Let's see how the noodles feel. I'm looking forward to this. I've been waiting for noodles for so long. Hopefully, we don't just get stomped. And hopefully, we also do not just brick. I really want to, like, start to get a feel for how the deck plays. Right, that is immediately a brick. That's not ideal. I like the new noodle spell. It's better TSA in most cases. I don't know if I'd say it's a better TSA. It's definitely a slightly different TSA, because obviously the reduction is usually going to be weaker. I think this might be a lost cause already, though. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's not looking good. I mean, we'll play it out, but we're probably just dead on the next turn. The new cards here already? Yes, they are. They are all in already. Well, the rush ones at the very least. Since I don't have most of the deck build box, I might just go through that a bit. I mean, you can do. Oh, I mean, Crackdown was made in mind for their skill, along with the other Link support they added. Ah. If he summons out another tribute monster, we are basically dead. Yeah, so this is going to be... He's now 700 off of lethal. So he just needs any normal monster and we lose. Yeah. Unfortunately, why are you... I suppose we could have back row to stop it. Not the greatest first showing, right? Not the greatest first showing. Let's hope we don't brick this time. Thanks, Tomato, for this turn. Now I know that I should not spend gems on the new box. I mean, hopefully we'll get something going in one of these games. For Noodle specifically, it's better, fuels the grave for the boss effect skill and the other spell. What are we missing from the new cards? What, are you talking about the new cards from the leaks? Or are we talking about something else specific? Hey, we're going second, and we have double Essel, which is pretty nice. Alright, so this is a tribute monster. That's something to take note of. Widespread here is not bad. Alright, we'll go Essel. Activate the effect. Not going to bother using that yet. We'll summon out Essel. Activate the effect. Oh, you know what? I would love to bring back a Flame Cerberus. I think that would be great. Alright, well, Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Unfortunately, our graveyard is not set up, which is a little bit disappointing. Boosting its attack, then, is also irrelevant, right? We don't have any Pyro monsters in grave to bring back, because we're unfortunately just not playing enough. There shouldn't be any reason to boost over to attack that, so I'm just going to go straight to battle. And we'll just swing. We'll swing in here. Okay, so this is going to be Resonance. Let's see what they've got for us. Leak. So we didn't get Metageas. We didn't get Canredi. We didn't get Blue Eyes Bright Dragon. We didn't get Ice Zark. I think that's everything from the leaks we haven't got yet. So you think Seal will be a one-off in Ninjas or none? So the only reason... So Seal is technically better in the sense that you can reduce your opponent's attack by more, right? If it's a level 7 monster, you can reduce it by 14 instead of 12, which is what Savory caps out as. If it's a maximum, obviously, it will lose 2,000 attack, as well as it lets you reshuffle your effect monsters. So you want to put stuff like Exercise back in the deck. So there is that. But, like Nanika said, typically Noodles want to keep their cards in their graveyard. So, what are we bringing back? Just a second Gravity Press. You have to discard both cards in hand in order to clear this board, though. You wanted to get rid of the cards in your hand because they're all high-level monsters. I say. I smell a super mini coming. It could just be a regular mini, to be honest. But yeah, super mini would also make some sense here. And I guess we'll do this. Why not? Yeah. Okay, this is a hand. So, we will... Normal? Is it worth the extra just 300? No, it's not worth it. I don't even think that's worth summoning, to be perfectly honest. I think it might be better to just summon this out, hold these in hand. I am going to use Noodle Savory, though. I think that's just funny. We'll activate our skill. Boost this up. Go to battle, and then... I mean, I don't think it really matters what we attack with. Like, it comes down to, are we playing around Recital, or are we trying to play around... Yeah, we can't play around Widespread anyway. It was like, are we playing around the guard or are we playing around Recital, right? So it doesn't really make a huge difference. We'd have to just flip a coin to know what he's on anyway. Finally, I can get the last Slayer, but honestly, I'm going to get 3 of it since I'm trying to get 3 Shock Dragons and Semi-Ruler. I don't think you'll need 3 Shock Dragons. I think, at the moment, Shock Dragon's going to be a one-of. Semi-Ruler as well, I don't think Semi-Ruler's going to be great, to be honest. I mean, again, I'm going to have to test it and actually find out. But I'm not expecting much out of Semi-Ruler, let's put it that way. Hey, thank you for the follow, Q Benzi. Ugh, what is this hand? Okay, we can do stuff with this, though. This is actually potentially okay. So I can summon out these two. We're going to tribute 2. Summon out this guy. We're then going to activate our skill. Noodle Art Reboot. We're going to boost up Extra Spice. This will then let us grab back Taste Inspector. We can summon out the Taste Inspector. I think we are going to summon out Serb here. It's a little bit awkward, but I want to clear both the high attack monsters anyway. And I don't really want to use my my Savory just yet. Okay. So we could have got an extra 800 plus 500 damage in. Ooh. Okay, that's annoying because, again, our Princess's Recital isn't going to work here now. It's going to come down to how lucky is he. Has he drawn the full combo off the top, is the question. In your opinion, are any of the new URs and SRs have any future use? So, Shock Dragon is okay, right? It's got some limited use even now. Then there is Semi-Ruler gets a fusion later. If we get a good skill for Semi-Ruler later, like maybe with the chair deck, we could do something there. Okay, this is kind of cringe. That's what, 36 on board, and we don't have any trap cards that do anything? Yeah, he literally drew, like, absolutely perfect there. There was nothing we could do there, unfortunately. And that comes down to... So we're playing to Recital because our deck doesn't have, like, many good defensive options, but Recital is garbage against Dragonic Resonance, right? We wanted... In that specific matchup, we would have much rather had the Guard. But again, we don't really want to be playing the Guard because we don't want to, like, deal with our graveyard getting messed with. Dragon tier 1 again? Almost certainly not. I do not think any Dragon deck is going to be tier 1. I think the best Dragon deck is still going to be Ancient Arise Dragon and Ancient Forces. Alright, we will set some cards. We always set this, and then are we going to get this out of our hand? Probably, because we're playing a lot of high-level monsters, so I don't think sitting on high levels in hand is going to be a good thing for us. We've got 2 quite good defense monsters here. So what do you think is good now that Rebels have been nerfed? Aggro and Spellcasters. The Aggro Spellcasters are probably the 2 best decks. I think Harpies are a little bit behind that, along with Thunder and Magnum Overlord. Then below that is probably going to be like all the Dragon decks. That's kind of where it feels like it is right now. But the issue is, again, we've just had some new mix-ups. Even before this, we'd only just had some changes to the skills, and we'd only just had some changes to the ban list, which I think we've only just had those come out now. But again, some of the tournaments were playing with the new ban list ahead of time, so... I've put my Flavor Inspector back in the deck, you jerk. Yeah, let's stop that. Ah, that's unfortunate. If he had attacked the other order, that could have been really good for us. Alright, well that's good for us. So now we will normal. Normal. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. We're going to go ahead and activate our skill. Boost this up. We'll add back our Taste Inspector. We'll normal out the Taste Inspector. We'll activate Extra Spice. We'll send this, burn for 1,000, draw a card. Now, where do we want to go with this? Because I could summon, get that out, burn again. There's no real reason to do that. I think we just summon. Change this to attack. I don't even think we need to use Noodle Art. I think we just go straight to battle here. Alright, let's see if he has his Widespread. No Widespread. Let's see if he has Recital. This could be Recital then. Which is fine, because again, we can't play around both Recital and Guard. Double Recital. Okay, that's fine. He got to maintain one body and save himself like the smallest amount of life points, so it does not matter. Now, if he has a Phoenix Dragon in hand, that is a very, very good card that he's just milled. I like to see that gone. Goodbye, Widespread Ruin. And there's the Phoenix Dragon! Of course he's got the Phoenix Dragon! Okay, let's see what happens here then. So he can easily get a pop on Extra Spice, and then he's going to attack over Flame Serb. Chances are he should have at least a 15 to attack over Canaan. Let's see what he actually has. Puts 2 back. Easy pop on the Extra Spice. Too late, already digged the box 3 times. I mean, yeah. Because it seems only the new SRs have better future use than the URs from what you informed. I mean, basically, yeah. They may unlimit Shock Dragon at some point. What do you think is... Warrior now, new tier 1? I mean, I think the original Warrior deck might be a bit better. I don't think the new, like, Urashima / semi-ruler deck is going to be really good. Now, what do you think is better, Shield Sword or Tribute to the Doom? So it depends what you're going for, I guess, is like the awkward answer to that question. Ooh. This guy keeps messing with my graveyard, otherwise this would be such a strong play right now. But we've got 3 in graveyard already. We can get another 2 in the grave. We'd only be able to boost 1 guy. So that would be 5. 1800 is enough to clear that. Means it's probably worth doing. The alternative is that we get out Extra Spice. Boost its attack, get an extra card back there. I think we do that. I think we do the Extra Spice play. Alright, we're going to normal. We're going to normal. And we're going to normal. We're going to activate Noodle Art of Savory. We're going to go ahead and reduce this down. Oh, actually, we probably should reduce this one. That would probably be better. But this is probably fine. Wait, right. Now we'll Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate the skill. I don't know why I chose this one again. No, I suppose we're going to summon the other one anyway. So we'll add this. Now, I'd like to get greedy and use his effect to burn, and then just hope we draw into another monster, but that's, like, so greedy. If I burn him for 2,000, I can get 1,800 damage in. Which is not enough, so I think we are going to go for this play. Activate Spice. Go to battle. And then we'll just kill. Boom! And that is the power of noodles! Right, we are, you know, 1 win, 2 losses, but still, noodles! Right, we'll save that replay. I really don't know how we want to, like, change this list at the moment. How about the new SR's future use other than extra spicy noodle ninja, as you mentioned, the fusion? Let's take a quick gander at what those were again. So the SR's Combustion Crisis, if we're ever in like a level 7 meta, is going to be pretty good. Urashima Warrior, I'm not feeling super great about. Urashima Sage, no. I don't think either of these cards are going to see long-term play. Urashima Warrior will see more play than Sage. Savory will be obviously better as we get better support, because you get cards that put it back. Volcano Attack Dragon is only going to be good as long as the skill is good. So that's kind of it. Realistically, it's the noodles that's going to be the best, and Urashima Warrior will probably see a little bit of play. That's kind of where I'm at. Alright, let's jump into another game. See what happens. What do you think is better, Shield Sword or Tribute to the Doomed? Again, it depends, because either... When Shield and Sword can just win games on its own, Tribute to the Doomed is usually more of a get something out of the way to either get a bit of damage in or to get rid of a problematic card like a Maximum, right? Alright, it's another Luke player. Thank you for your insight. Anytime. Tier 2, in my opinion. Ooh. Maybe. I'm actually thinking I might put more pyros in this deck. I want to put less, or have less tribute monsters in here as well, but it's a bit awkward. I don't really want to use Serb this early, but at the same time, I don't want to sit on Serb because we're playing a lot of high-level monsters, so I are just going to get Serb out immediately, I think. Let's see if we can't clear the whole board. I don't see a point in using the skill. Well, that's fine. That's also fine. Okay. So right now we're in an okay position. This back row though could be, or I should say probably is, the oh, it's Shield and Sword. That's another issue this deck's going to run into, is even our boss monsters have 0 defense, so we can take a lot of damage very quickly. Oh, that also kind of sucks. Thank you for the follow, Yami Adams. I might try the Estel engine to pile up the Pyrograve and use Seal to help reshuffle my bosses and a few normal summons. Yeah, I mean, I think that could be a way to go. Again, we're just testing shit right now. We're just like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And the Resonance player you played a few games ago was a fun game. Thought the deck looked interesting. How is it? I mean, again, this is our first build. We're not like super sold on this version of the deck yet, but it's doing okay, right? The issue we're having at the moment is we're playing Recital, which is what we had face down against you, Arishun. The issue was that we didn't have... Oh, I don't think we do anything with this. We had Recital, which is really bad into specifically Dragonic Pressure. So I think we hold onto Soldier here, right? I think we always hold Soldier. I don't think we need to use any of this back row either. We're kind of fine. The only problem we're going to have is if he just has like full combo. Like if our opponent gets Pressure plus both Sports Dragons and Grave, or, you know, the correct Sports Dragon, I suppose. Ooh, please don't hit. Like, oh, of course you hit the best one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just lose the 33. Feels bad. Theory testing, the go. The issue is, again, this deck still struggles to deal with set 3. We need to basically get extra spice into rotation as soon as possible, and then start using his effect. So we can do that now. So I guess we will just go for this then. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon. There's like no... unless we... there's no reason to hold on to both of these, so I guess we will use this effect now. Because we need to get some of the cards in our hand out of our hand anyway. Holding on to this would be nice. Alright, we'll summon. Summon. Do I just summon out Spice here? I think we probably do. I don't need to, though. I don't need to boost his attack either. I want to get some of these cards out of my hand, so I'm summoning one of these two either way. I think we're going to summon out just the Serb. Once again, there's no reason to use that, and that doesn't do anything. So now we do just go... Well, I didn't actually want to use that, but that's fine. Doesn't really change anything. We're not going to add the card back either way. Oh, wait, of course it made sense to do that, because then I protect him from widespread. I need to, like, learn my own deck, apparently. Get rid of that's quite nice. The issue with him having a card left over is actually that is a big... Actually, no, it doesn't matter. That does not matter, because if he uses his combo, he won't be able to kill me through it anyway. The issue I'm having right now is he's on 31, which means it will take me 4 turns to kill him with just extra spice, which is awkward. Can you run Lancer with the new skill? So you cannot, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you cannot use Lancer.
Oh, he hit my other trap card again.
Not that it matters. He's going to boost and kill this anyway. Are we dead? I don't think we're dead. It's going to boost these two. Attack over this for 4. Attack over this for 1. And get in directly for 14. The issue is that if we had our shield and sword still, we would just have lethal next turn. Now we're not going to have lethal. So let's see what we do have. Double! Ooh, hello. Right. Seahorse Carrier. Use the effect to take back Kanan. Then we're going to normal summon. Go ahead and tribute both. Then it doesn't really make any difference how we do this, so I guess we'll do it like this. Add this back. Normal summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Summon out Fyaru. Activate Spice. Activate Spice. We use Noodle Art Reboot. Boost this. No reason to do that. Then we'll punch over this. And kill him! Easy! Oh, man. It's so... It's one reason I'm not super thrilled with Resonance coming back is I don't like having to play around Pressure. Pressure is just like, ugh. Goddamn White Sniper. They should have given us the Piercing Noodle Art. I don't even think the Piercing Noodle Art's very good, though. Like, when you really break it down, without its support cards to, like, recycle it, it's just Pierce that gives 300 attack. That's all it is. And I don't... Like, I could just run Pierce if I wanted that. I don't really want to play Pierce, because Pierce... In my mind, Pierce is a win more card. It's... You're already winning, now you can Pierce for game. Which, to be fair, might not be a terrible thing to include, to be honest. I think what I do want to make a couple of changes. I think we're going to take this out, just because I want an extra Pyro in here. I think we're going to take out one of our Savories as well. I'm also going to take out one copy of Recital. And what we're going to do instead is we are going to include one copy of Guard. I would like to include Shield and Sword, but our guys have 0 defense a lot of the time, so I don't think that's going to be worth using. What else I would like to use is we are going to try out, and we're just going to test one copy of Pierce and see how that works out. Because we do quite often times are able to make a massive guy, and maybe just having Pierce will be enough to help kind of bridge the gap a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and find one Pyro Monster. It's probably going to be a piece of crap, let's be honest. So Flame Lancer has 900 attack defense, which means we can't use it with the skill, which is a little bit sad. We also can't use... Oh, we can use Flame Champion. Oh, no, we can... No, yeah, we can't use it because it's an effect monster. Right, I think our effect monsters have to have 0 defense. So our best card is going to be Stock. Stock is going to be our just extra card in here. Right. I kind of want to take out another boss monster, but I like the 3 thingy split. Right, let's go with this. Let's try again. We're going to try one more time. Because the deck's been doing okay, right? It hasn't been, like, popping, but it's been doing alright. Stock's flavor text is so funny. Like, all of the noodles. In fact, just in general, Rush cards just have really good flavor text. It's like Grass. I can't remember what Grass's English flavor text was, but its Japanese flavor text was just weed lol. Like, just literally weed LOL. Ooh, we got a Cyburst player. Let's see what he's got. Atron, discard, draw a card. Drops the Drago the Sky Emperor L, immediately tributes it off for Peacock Pictotron, uses its effect to get rid of it, draw 2 cards, mill a card. Back up the 5 cards in hand, he's going to summon out the Yoctron, tribute it off for probably another Pictotron. There it is. We're going to draw some cards, mill some cards. we're going to set some back row and pass the turn. Ooh, okay. Well, there's Pierce. Unfortunately, Pierce doesn't do a ton for us right now. How do we want to play this? We have a couple of options. I could use his effect and burn, draw a card, but then, like, what does that get me outside of, like, just doing half of his life? We could just summon it anyway. It would come down to, like, just gambling on a draw. I don't think we need to gamble on a draw. I think we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and tribute 2. Activate our skill. Boost him up. Add this to hand. Now, I think we are going to do this, because if we do hit any normal summon, we do just win. Or we have a chance to push lethal. Okay, so now we can push lethal. It depends what his back rows are. Alright, now he flips over his Widespread Ruin. Oh, the guard. Okay, okay. I respect it. I respect it. Not gonna lie, I kind of want Exodia in Rush. What, the format where you draw 5 every turn? I'm not sure about that. Also, actually, a Psychic main. I just wanted to try Resonance post-banless. I mean, I respect any Psychic main. Alright, we do get in for a big chunk of damage. Put him down to 23. Unfortunately, again, we are still 3 turns away from just burning him to death. And based on the deck he's playing, he probably is just going to have a ton more cards to turbo through the deck and try and just find Yugdrago. Right now, our main concern is just... Ooh, that's not ideal for you. Okay, let's... Ooh, these are cards. Alright, let's go. We're going to activate Extra Spice. We're going to send this to grave. We're going to burn for 1,000. We're going to draw a card. Then, we will summon out Essel. I'm going to go ahead and activate Essel effect. We're going to mill some more cards into the grave. Then, we're going to tribute 2 monsters. And summon out another one. Then we can activate the effect of Noodle Art Reboot. Boost this up, and then, yeah, sure, we'll add an extra card. Let's take back Fyaru. Then we're going to summon out Fyaru. We're going to go ahead and activate Extra Spice. We're going to send it to the graveyard and draw another card. Then, we can summon out Kanan. Tribute the Kanan and summon out a Serb. I guess we'll activate this, because, like, why not, right? And we'll give this to Flame Serb. And we'll set, go to battle, and we'll attack with the Flame Serb. So he's going to need such a specific set of cards to stop this. Ah, and he had the specific set of cards to stop it. Okay, we're still in an okay position. Do we still have 1 left in the deck? We do still have 1 copy of Extra Spice in the deck. Are you excited for Elemental Heroes in Physical Rush? I am. I'll be interested to see what they do with them, because generally they'll make them like super broken, and I think them being super broken could be really, really fun. So I'm hoping they do that. Can I ask, does Candy do well without their fusion? Candy... So Can Reedy is not the best Candy monster, or Can monster, I guess. Let me open this up quick. So they have... I can't remember what it's called exactly. But we have Can... Let's see if I can even remember how it's formatted. Can hyphen immediately. Can colon. So it's Can ID. So it's Can and then space hyphen. Yeah, so Can Melody is like one of the better ones. Okay, so now we've got to deal with this. So normal. We will activate Noodle Art Savory. Weaken this down. Then sure, we'll tribute over this. Why not? Let's get it out of the way. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate the skill. I don't know why I'm doing this, because this might actually make me too weak to actually clear. I haven't actually done any of the maths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it would have been 9. That doesn't make any difference. Okay, we're fine. Swing! Get out of here! Wrong screen? No. Oh yeah. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. We minimized it. So the issue is if I tab between them, it doesn't go away. But if I minimize it, it does go away. That's why we didn't bother changing it. But it's fine. You didn't need to see. We killed a Yggdrago. He summoned out Yggdrago. We killed it. It was easy peasy. All because of our special noodle burn. Anyway, Can Melody is the one that sees the most play. And this is return one other face-up level 5 or higher monster from your field to your hand. Shuffle one face-down card from your opponent's field into the deck. Then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can add one level 1 psychic type normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. So, notably, this guy's attack is a bit low, like 2400 is not great. But you can use this to do a lot of loopy things, which is why it's so good. So return one other face-up level 5 or higher monster from your field to the hand. So generally you could return like a second copy of itself. Shuffle one face-down card from your opponent's field into the deck. So again, that's good, just get rid of one of your opponent's back row. Then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, which again we're playing Psychic, so they should be, we can add one level 1 Psychic normal monster from our graveyard to our hand, which is going to be Candy, which is then Tribute fodder to get back out the Melody. And then you can just keep doing that to get rid of all your opponent's back row, especially if it other ways to plus, things like Roman Pick and stuff like that. So generally, Melody is one of the better ones. Can ID is... I don't even remember what this card does. The only monsters in your graveyard are Omega or Psychic, so one card from your hand to graveyard, summon some next to your hand, face it to field. Candy in the graveyard, this card gains 700 attack. I mean, this is fine. It's not bad, right? It gets out a level 7 monster for 1 less tribute, and it boosts itself up to 31, so again, pretty good. And then which one is it? Can Speedy is if you have another face-up Omega Psychic or Psychic monster in your field, send some card into the graveyard. This turn, one face-up monster on your field gains 200 attack, and your opponent cannot trap cards when it declares an attack. This one's a little bit weaker, but it's still okay, right? It can still go up to 26. Your opponent can't have the trap cards, that's fine. The weakest one is definitely Can Reedy, which again is not inherently bad, it's just a little bit weaker. The one thing Can Reedy does have over the others is that it does a 2500 attack, but all the rest of them have 24. That's kind of what we got there. Alright. Let's play again. More noodles. That is a heck of a name. Right, Nail. So probably more Cybers. Well, it's not the most engaging hand, but I suppose we're going first. We don't really want to do anything flashy anyway. I think we're just going to set all 3 of these. So I want to use Essel's effect, but I want to also not leave it in attack mode. Oh, can adjust boss monsters? Yes. All of the... Well, I guess except... Oh, don't Dragon Inferno, you jerk. Turn 1, just immediately pop my widespread. What is this deck? What have you been cooking up, sir? Is this just Harpies? It's literally just Harpies. It's just Harpies that is playing this, like, mini dragon engine. I have seen this a little bit. I mean, that kind of sucks, but if we can get out any boss monster, we clear this. Of course, we don't see any boss monster, so we can't clear this. This really sucks. There's like nothing we can do about this until we just draw a boss, and we're only drawing 1 card each turn. And again, we're playing 8 boss monsters, and we just didn't draw any of them. This is not looking good for us. We're probably going to lose this one, unfortunately. Like, statistically, we should have seen 2 boss monsters, but we haven't, so we have to now get lucky. Again, it's, what, a 1 in 3 that we draw a boss monster next turn? But we only get the 1 draw, so... And the issue now is also our life points are going to be so low that even if we do draw a boss monster, it's going to be far too late. So, is what it is, unfortunately. Alright, well, there it is. But again, he's got this now, so we can't even attack over it. That, unfortunately, was just... That's another brick game. That's just what happens when we brick. We can't do anything. So far, though, we've only actually had 2 brick games, which is not too bad, right? We had 1 game where we didn't see any high levels, and we had 1 game where we saw too many high levels. Other than that, they've been pretty smooth. And of the games where... Well, we've already played against this guy before. Of the games that we have not bricked, we've only lost 1 of them. Now, that's an interesting hand. It's a bit weird. Brick, just mulligan. Easy. Yeah, but can I do that every turn? Imagine if you could mulligan every turn. At what point do you just let you like choose your hand every turn? Ooh, 4 cards down is pretty scary. Well, there's no reason to not do this, so... Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon out the boy, activate the skill. Now the question is, do we bother using the burn effect? We'd have to draw into another normal summon for it to be worth it. I think if we had 3 monsters, we would, but because we don't, we're just going to attack. I'd rather keep an extra monster on board guaranteed. Of course he's got widespread turn 1. Why wouldn't he have widespread turn 1? Bro. How many times have we been turn 1 widespreaded today, and how many times have we actually resolved our own widespread? I think we resolved widespread 1 time. We've had our widespread popped so many times. Right, we might actually get to resolve our widespread this game. But the issue is, we're playing against the deck that is known for destroying all your back row. Hey, it's new Dragius. Thank God we have our widespread here. If he pops our widespread now, this is going to be so sad. The issue is, as well, is we're going to play against so many dragon players because both Resonance just got a bit of a boost with this, and the Fire Dragon deck should also be seeing a lot more play, like as people test it out. Alright, Widespread Ruin. We'll lose our only monster, and we'll lose 200 life. That's not the end of the world. Right, let's see what we get here. Essel, you're a bit late. But we will fire you off. Oh, that's a nice mill, though. We do now have an Aqua Engrave. So we'll go Carrier here. We will use it. Grab this back. Then we'll tribute both of these. I don't really want to do a shield and sword play here. I'd rather him use back row on it. We're going to tribute 1, tribute 2. I mean, I could get back another card, leave that in hand. Let's go for it. Let's get greedy. Let's get greedy. I'll grab this back. Normal. Activate the effect. Ah, they didn't go up to 15. That kind of sucks. Okay, then we're just going to set this. I was so hopeful. I was so hopeful the greed would be real. Right. We can clear that and get him for 14. Yeah, it's not bad damage. We could have got him for a bit more, but I get the feeling Semi-Ruler and Shock Dragon may fall out quite quick. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Okay, at least these guys have 1,000 defense, so that's something. Unfortunately, Pierce is not going to do too much for us right now, since he's no doubt going on the offense here. our kind of hope here is that he just doesn't have a Slayer. If he doesn't have Slayer, I suppose Dragius would actually be a lot worse than Slayer. It'd be really nice if he could just go straight to battle. Ooh. Okay. Straight to battle. Okay. Okay, this is pretty much the best we could have hoped for. The issue here is, again, Sword and Shield actually is detrimental to us here. Okay. How big can we get? We can get this guy up to 27. We can reduce one of his by... None of those are still worth using either way. Alright, let's do this. Summon, summon. I'm going to tribute over this and get this out. Then I'm going to activate our skill. We're going to boost up Serb. We're going to activate Noodle Art of Savory. I'm going to weaken this. I'm going to set... And that's what, 25, and that's 1,000, which is 35. Boom. Boom! Always boom. Shock feels too much to set up. Having a 1600 attack monster on the field to activate the effect is risky. Semi-ruler reliance on defense monsters can be easily run over these days. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. How is it going? Tomato sauce, thank you for the raid the other day. No problem, Demoni. It's going quite well. We're playing some Rush, playing with the new stuff, having a pretty good time. Right, how... Are any of these stuff we want to, like, record? That one is definitely worth recording. I don't remember what the last one we saved was. It was... Against Resonance, I think. So we're going to try and look for non-Resonance replays if we can. Let's see what we get! Oh! Alright. We're hoping to see some of the other new decks. We haven't seen anyone playing Warriors yet, because everyone on ladder is unfortunately very sensible. Which means they're not playing the bad decks. Which, although is good for them, and means we get better practice, we're not finding the interesting replay, which is a bit of a shame. I'm still newbie in Duel Links, but I picked up Zombies. Nice. Zombies, very, very strong deck right now. There's like 3 really good zombie builds as well between Shiranui, Mayakashi, and the kind of Red Eyes zombie deck. So all very, very strong right now. Which obviously, you know, we're not playing speed right now. Unfortunately, we're playing Rush. Because we just had some brand new Rush stuff come out, and I'm typically a Rush guy anyway. Oh, we do have the Essel on the turn 2. We might be able to make something happen. Unfortunately, the rest of this hand is a little bit lackluster for the time being. We have to hope that we draw into a boss monster. We'd love to see that. Good old Widespread Ruin, milled off the top. Goes for a defense monster. Which is better, Rush or Speed? I think both formats are really, really good. And both are very, very different, right? Rush is very much still in its infancy. It's very early. It's like playing back when we only had a handful of sets out for... I don't think it's even worth using that. When we only had a handful of sets... Did we bring back Pictotron? Yes. Let me bring that back. It's just better than all the stuff we have. Come back, Peacock Pictotron. It's very weird to summon that out. I guess we activate our Noodle Art Reboot, and then we'll boost up our Peacock Pictotron. We'll just set, go to battle, and his monsters should have really low defense, so we'll just attack over them. And try if we can get him for a 22. Yeah! Then we'll pass. He's probably got Particle Acceleration face down, which means we're probably going to lose our guard. But yeah, Rush is very Unga Bunga at the moment. It's still very, very fresh. It's still very new. It's like the equivalent of playing... like pre Invasion of Chaos Yu-Gi-Oh, like back in the day, right? Whereas Speed is, you know, has a lot more modern cards, has all the game mechanics, is very much coming towards, I don't want to say the end of its lifespan, but it's closer to the end than it was the beginning, if that makes sense. So they're very, very just kind of different. And depending on what you want, you know, there's a different game for you. Oh, let's mill some stuff. What do we mill? No boss monsters, which is pretty good. So I'll go ahead and use our Noodle Art Reboot again. We'll boost this up. Now the main issue we're still having is we don't have any boss monsters, which is a little bit scary. But his monsters should again all have really low defense points, so we should be able to just clear and get in for another chunk of damage. And then we'll just pass again. Alright, Ghost Cyclone. There goes our guard, which realistically wouldn't do anything here anyway. Alright, summons out the max. Okay, that is especially scary because our hand is chocker full of cards. So we are probably dead. Entirely because we haven't drawn any boss monsters. Which sucks, but this is basically just another brick game. Nothing we can do about it. Rush is newborn like Duelist Kingdom era, while Speed is up to date. We are 2 years in Link era. How do you feel about Master Duel? It's what I normally play. Sorry for asking silly questions. Yeah, you can ask questions. That's fine. Master Duel is something I do really enjoy. I haven't played as much Master Duel, though, recently, I suppose. I played a ton of Master Duel when it first came out. We haven't played a lot since then. How do we do this? 1, 2, 3. We only have 3 engrave. That is really bad. Set, tribute set is probably the play. Even if he flips one of our guys up, we won't immediately die. Mind you, we could just leave guys in attack even, it doesn't matter. Right, we'll change this to defense. We will set. Tribute 1, tribute 2. Summon this out. Activate its effect. 27, we can only boost it by another 7, so that's not going to make any difference. So now, we set this, and then we end. So chances are, he's going to use his effect to flip this up, and he's going to pop our Spice. The worst case scenario is that he has Talismanic Seal Array, and he weakens us down. Oh, wait a minute, he's 34. Oh, he's got the skill that keeps his guy weakened. Okay. Oh, he has actually got the TSA. That is very sad. How much damage are we going to take from this, then? That's not even lethal, is it? So we'd lose 1,000? He's got double TSA! Bro. Come on. Double TSA to close out the game. That's a shame. Nothing we can do about that. Nothing we can do about that. Unfortunately, again, we just got stuck with a load of crap on our hand. We didn't see any of our boss monsters, which again, we're playing 8! Playing more than usual. Still not seeing them. I play both. I get frustrated at Speed, after a while, and bored of Rush, so it's great they switch between the two. Yeah, I mean, and if you have Master Duel thrown in, and even TCG, then that's even more different formats to kind of swap between. It's like I said, whenever I get bored of any format, I have so many other options to just jump to. It's like such a good feeling to have. Right. Set 3, set a back row, pass the turn, see what he's got. How many back row removal do you play? In this build right now, we literally cannot fit any in. Like, there is no room for it. And that is a problem I think we might have with Rush going forward, is even in the physical game, you only tend to play about 12 back row, usually. I mean, I can get that back to my hand. There's no reason to. Boosting up by 200 doesn't make a huge amount of difference. I think we do summon this out either way, though. Contribute both of these off. Or summon. We'll go ahead and activate the skill. Boost the attack up. Or then normal summon. flip. We probably don't need to pierce here, realistically. We'll go to battle. I mean, we always swing with our 15s first. Am I an idiot? Did I miss the tribute set? I did. I completely missed the tribute set. That's just me not paying attention. All right. Note to self. Pay more attention to the game. Truthfully, different format helps you provide variety and does help with burnout. Exactly. I don't think I have come remotely close to burning out on Duel Links. Like, not even remotely. Even when, like, I'm like, oh, this format's been going on for a bit long. Yeah, it just plays the speed. Hey, it's Volcano Attack Dragon. It's our first Volcano Attack Dragon opponent. Let's see what he's got for us. Dragon Inferno to hand. We can use that. He should pop this one. Okay, he is a dum-dum. And then we're just going to fire this off. So he's literally just looking for, like, any raw damage he can find, which I suppose is not too bad. This is probably like a damage race style deck anyway. And another back row. That's scary. Not gonna lie. Losing that extra 1,000 really did not help. Where are the the boss monsters deck? How does this keep happening as well? How do we keep running out of boss monsters? Like, again, we have 8 in the deck. We should see, like, 1.5 every 5 cards with 13 cards through the deck. Now this is going to be his deck's issue as well, as he's not going to have in-arc type ways to get to our life points outside of exactly Dragius. And he's playing multiple Shock Dragons as well. Okay, that's fine. As long as he doesn't find his one of Dragius, we're like so okay right now. There's no point in using that skill as well. We're literally just pressing buttons for the sake of it. And you can't even clear my whole board, so I'm not feeling too bad right now. Ooh, extra spice. That is interesting. The issue I have with it right now... I think we have to still just go for it, right? So I'm going to normal out Essel. We'll fire off the effect. Put some cards in the grave. Then... Are we doing that? It really does depend on what we draw, doesn't it? Right, let's go Carrier. We will use Carrier effect. We'll add this back to hand. We'll then Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. We're going to activate his effect. We'll send this, burn for 1,000, draw a card. Ooh, that's not what we were hoping to draw, unfortunately. We still have, again, so many boss monsters in the deck. We're just not seeing them. So I'll go Noodle Art Reboot. There's no point to add a card back to our hand. I think here we just set to. And then we attempt to attack over this. And he's going to flip over on his back row, but we had to get rid of the back row at some point anyway. Okay. So he's literally just playing it for the burn? Right, this is not the turn enter the battlefield effect, so he can reduce me by 21. We're not dead on board. We have 1,800 damage we're taking, though. Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate. We did misplay there quite a lot, to be honest. That's something to take note of as well. Realistically, usually, in my experience, Shock Dragon uses the effect the turn it's summoned, so I just always kind of thought of it like that, but clearly it's not. Yeah, to be fair as well, he also misplayed a ton. So we still shouldn't really have lost that. But again, also, we did also brick, right? We did not find any of our boss monsters throughout most of that game. They were all in the bottom of our deck. So fingers crossed, we can actually see our boss monsters in some of these games. Where are my boss monsters game? We're playing 8. We should be bricking on them more than we're not seeing them. I do not understand what's happening. I guess we'll board Essel in hand. We'll just do this and then we'll pass. Like, statistically, We should be bricking on having too many boss monsters. Not what we're seeing right now. Okay. Right. Then we're going straight to battle. Okay, so he's basically telling me I have to attack and get rid of his 0 attack monster, which is fine. Boss monsters, where are you? Okay, I mean, we can still clear his whole board. It just kind of sucks. Because it means that we're now open to being attacked on the crackback, which is something we really don't want to be. I really, really don't know what's going on today. Again, I was worried when we built this deck we were going to have too many high-level monsters. Like, we literally have 8. The average people are running is 5 or 6. So we have more than the average by quite a lot at 8. And yet, Brick City. Okay, so he's got his full combo. He's just, like, lucked into it. There's nothing we can really do about that. Gets to burn us for a chunk. 25, 41. Okay, we're not dead, but it's not looking great. Again, if we didn't do that, he basically just got to sit on everything anyway. I mean, probably the play was just to keep playing defensive, especially since we didn't have any boss monsters at the time. Now he has the back row as well, which sucks. I think there's, like, no good way to win this game at this point. So we're just going to play into it. Realistically, if his back row's anything, it makes more... If we were in a tournament, we would be setting 3 monsters, basically, right now. But, since we don't really give a shit, we're just going to attack into it with this. Because now he's going to flip over widespread, and then the game's over. So, that's fine, though. Again, we're not playing, like, optimally, because we don't really want to play, like, a really defensive stall game. We're just going to get out of the boring games and kind of get into another one. Boss wants to be like, we either go together or we die together. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on the last few games. Like, we're just not seeing boss monsters, so we can't play the game. I mean, it's going to happen occasionally, right? It just sucks that it's so many games back to back to back. And we were on quite a good win streak. Now we've just had, like, brick, 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 brick. Alright, let's go again. Let's see if we can actually get a game going, deck. What is going on right now? That's what we expected to happen more than those other games. Alright, let's see if we can actually get a real game going for once. Holy. It shouldn't be this difficult to just draw a playable hand. But apparently it's very, very difficult at the moment. Alright, let's see what we're against. Let's see what we've got. Okay, against another Luke. I think we're probably going to be against a lot of Lukes today either way. We're going second. Because again, not really ideal. We really want to be going first if we can. Although we have got the Essel, we actually have a boss monster in hand. So maybe we can actually play the game today. Let's see what happens. Unfortunately, Spice is not the best turn 1. We want to see this card as late into the game as possible. We want extra Spice early. Set 3. Again, we don't really have a good way to deal with that. I mean, we're always going to summon out Essel either way. Yeah, sure. We'll summon out our Flame Serb. I think we still get Spice out of our hand, just because, again, it's not doing us much use, just sitting in our hand. Okay. We'll summon out this anyway. We probably shouldn't have summoned out that boss monster, or that monster, our Archfiend Soldier, but we'll see what happens. Now we're back to the Luke Apocalypse. I think this is just going to be while people test out the new stuff. I think when people work out that the new stuff isn't crazy good, people will probably stop playing Luke as much. But like day 1, you're going to be seeing what? Luke or Gavin, and that's kind of going to be it. And the Gavin stuff looks really boring and really unintuitive to play. So I think it's going to be just Luke, right? Okay, let's see what we draw now. Once again, it's Spice, so really not what we want to see. We want to be seeing extra Spice in this kind of game state. Unfortunately, And there goes extra spice to the graveyard. This is the other issue, is we're milling all the wrong cards. But we want to keep milling, because we want the cards in our graveyard. But, unfortunately, we're just in a kind of really gross position where we've seen both of our spices super early and none of our extra spice. He's unfortunately just in the graveyard. We need normal monsters in the graveyard as much as possible. Currently we have 2. Alright, Ghost Cyclone, pops a card. Then what? What's the next part of the master plan? TSA? Why are we TSAing here? Bit weird. Can you just not deal with a 2200 attack monster? Is that it? Okay. We have a Winged Dragon Guardian in the fortress. Where do we go from here? Something like Gravity Press. So we can use our skill. Okay, so this clears... It doesn't even clear the whole board. This is very strange. What? Okay, he misplayed there. He meant to boost his other guy. That's what he meant to do. Okay. Unfortunately, we actually found a good mix of boss monsters and non-boss monsters, and our opponent just bricked. So, TSA before Cyclone? Yeah, that would have been 100%. I mean, yeah, our opponent's clearly, like, new or just, like, misplaying, right? I mean, we've misplayed a little bit today as well, so we can't really pass judgment too harshly. Right, let's see what our Japanese opponent has. Look, it's Luke again! He's back! He's on a 2-win streak. Scorching Flame Burst gave us loads of reprints, but having Shock, Sage, Dark Summoner is a must. Also, nice Savory. Crisis might be funny, especially Crisis. I think it's a bit of a weird one. Ooh, this is actually a really awkward hand as well. Alright, I think we have to get out one of these guys. That is a necessity. We can't end our turn with both of these in hand, either way. We can then activate our skill. We will go ahead and add Fyaru back to our hand. We're then going to summon out Flavor Inspector, and we are just going to burn. If we do get a normal summon, it's great. If we get back row, it's great. Right. I'm just going to set these two, and we're going to pass. Now, this shouldn't be too hard of a board for our opponent to break, but we should ideally be able to summon out Extra Spice again next turn, which is pretty good here. Misplay 3, brick 7. We did win all the other games. Trying to think. In total, we have... No! We finally got a good start! We've had 2 good starts, and our opponent has scooped both times. No! Every time we don't brick, our opponents brick. This displeases me greatly. Alright, let's see what our next opponent has for us. Is it going to be a Luke again? Oh, it's Nail. We've actually run into a lot of Nails. I'm surprised there's so many people playing Nail. He's on a random ass skill. Those could be like Harpies or something. And we're going first with double Essel, which is not ideal. I think we're just going to set an Essel. I don't think there's a point in taking free damage for no reason. If he's Harpies, we'll take free damage anyway, but... okay. Oh, he's playing Noodles! Okay. So he did summon that out, which means he must have Tribute Monsters in hand. And he has got the good one for this situation. I don't know why we're this all in on Noodles. And he summoned out Spice as well. Okay. So boost that, gets a card back, summons it out, uses the effect, boosts all 3. It's not bad. And he is all in on Roastery as well. The issue is we're not going to get that nice +1 that he got. So summon, activate the effect. We milled our bloody widespread as well, which is less than ideal. Tribute 2, summon out the boy. Activate the effect. Add this back to hand. We're basically doing the same board he did, except we don't get the +1 from Essel. I would love to use the burn effect as well, but if we miss on a normal summon, then that cripples us so bad. We just are not allowed to do that. So he just got a much, much better version of this play. Yeah, we would have whiffed, so that's good for us that we didn't do that. Alright, this is not fantastic. Basically, because we went first, we're getting punished because he had the Essel. That's what this really comes down to. He drew another boss monster. If he doesn't have another one, another boss monster, we're kind of okay here. Because he can't clear both of our guys. Okay, we did get to maintain a big monster, which is pretty good. That is awful, though. We can do stuff. It's just very awkward. Right, I think we always do this now. Wait a minute. Why didn't I get... Am I an idiot? What did I do? Oh, if it was summoned this turn. Oh, that was an idiot. That was really stupid then. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. That's pretty bad, not gonna lie. I don't think it's worth doing that. I could do this to get an extra 800 damage in. But that doesn't really matter unless we're going for the win anyway. I've got 5,100. Would that have been lethal? Did I just miss lethal? 5,100 minus 2,600 would be... No, nowhere near. Okay. So we'll just clear this. We'll clear this. And then we'll pass. Okay, let's see what he's got. Or is he going all in on defense? Because if he is, then we're kind of chilling. Oh! Okay. How do we do this? So we have to summon this first. No, because our skill only works if we use it on a big boy that's been tributed, right? So we'll start off by using Extra Spice Effect. We're going to send this to grave. Then I normal summon Carrier. Activate Carrier. Bring this back. Normal summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Activate our skill. Target this. Use the effect. Bring back Fayaru. Normal Fayaru. Activate the effect of Extra Spice. Send it to burn. Normal. We're going to tribute this out because we can. Then we're going to go ahead and activate Pierce. And the one-off Pierce finally does something. We finally did a thing. And we'll take a nice level up with Gavin as well. We have really not been playing Gavin very much because there hasn't really been a reason to. But I figured we take this opportunity to start leveling him up. Is there anything I want to change in here? I mean, potentially. A little bit of back row hate would be nice, but the issue is a lot of the time it doesn't matter. So I think we're just going to keep going with this. Let's see what happens here. What I should probably do as well is grab that replay from that last game. It was Manikist! We failed to queue into Manikist. Right, let's try this again. It is send nice, please. Alright, we've got to remember at the end of this game, we have to remember to send nice. This is like a very late game hand. That is really bad. Unfortunately, we're going to end with one monster on the board, which is really not good. Our back row, again, are both very, very kind of late back row that we don't really want to see early. Have to see how this goes. This might get a bit spicy. Maximum overload. Alright. Now, what is it we've just set? It'd be really funny if it's like a Tawna. Oh, if you... Oh, ho, ho, we get to keep our monster. Nice. That's really, really good for us there. Alright. One back row to play through. And some very interesting monsters to draw. Alright, let's start out with Essel. We'll activate its effect. Then we're going to summon out Kanan. I'm going to go ahead and Tribute 2. Then we're going to summon out the Fyaru. I'm going to go ahead and activate Extra Spice. I'm going to send the Fyaru. Then, I suppose now I don't even need the discard. Change this to attack. There's no point to add the extra monster back to our hand now, unless we're going to tribute both of these for this. That'd be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even think it's worth it. I think it's better to hold this in our hand. I also don't think it's worth using Pierce right now. What I will do, though, is use Noodle Art Reboot. We'll just boost this up, because why not? We'll go to battle. We'll swing over this. Because by doing it this way, we protect us from widespread ruin. Now we have to attack this, and then we have to hope this has less than 1300 defense. Which it does, so all good. Alright, if he were to, for example, summon out his maximum this turn by getting lucky and drawing the final piece, assuming he held onto one piece, he would be at 3500. He would gain an extra 2000 because of the difference in our life points. He could then gain an extra 1600 because of our monster. Then he would attack into our Taste Inspector, which has 1300 attack, which means we would lose 5800 life points. So we are not in any danger of dying this turn specifically to the maximum. Oh, that 800 actually would have been lethal then. I completely forgot that the skill does an extra 800. Okay. So this clears our whole board as is. Another back row. Again, he's already used the widespread, so that's the big scary one. Let's see what we draw. Hopefully something good. That's not bad. Alright. Summon out Essel. Activate Essel effect. We will then... And how many are we going to have in grave at this stage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is not enough to warrant doing that over that. So we will just summon out Stock here. Then we'll tribute both. we'll go ahead and activate our Noodle Art Reboot. Boosting up our guy and adding back to our hand Bayaru. For summon. Go ahead and activate Spice Effect here. Then we're going to activate Savory. Weaken this down. Go to battle. We'll swing him with this. And we'll swing him with this. And then we'll just hope that's not the guard. And there's a win on the board. Alright, he wanted Nices. That was his name. Send Nice, please. So we sent him the Nice. We'll also save the replay, because we haven't played against that deck today, and we probably won't play against it again. Alright, let's see. Do we actually still have... No. Would like to go back and save one of those replays from before. But that's fine. Let's see what our next opponent has for us. Hopefully, again, a bit more diversity. But, again, we only played against, I think, one. It's Manakist! Right, let's see what Manakist has for us. On Roman Cassidy. Now, this could be Noodles. Okay, yeah, it's probably Noodles, based on the type of skill we're on. Let's see what my man Manakist has got for us. Okay. Okay. We're playing the Dino deck. He's here! Super King Rex! I love Super King Rex so much. I'm not even going to be mad when I lose to this deck. There's Spice. This is an awkward hand, but I think we always go for this, right? So a summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate the skill. Add this back to our hand. Then we'll normal this out. And we are going to tribute over. Because again, I don't want too many high levels in the old hand. And this now lets me use Spice's effect. I think we will use this as well, just in case he does have something to protect. Okay. Then we'll just pass on that. Which means probably a widespread down. Obviously could be other things, but chances are it's a widespread. Shield and Sword does kinda suck, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. Is this going to be another immediate dino? Okay, 2 Super King Rex in the top 10 cards is not, like, crazy lucky, but it is, like, erring on the luckier side than the unlucky side. The issue is, we still have to play through widespread, which kinda stinks. Okay, we can do stuff with this hand. So summon out Carrier. Do we still not have a... That's a shame. Which is... I guess it's fine. We'll summon... Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate the effect. We'll add Fyaru. The issue is... I really want to get greedy, but I know I can't. It just sucks because we know what his back row is. Alternatively, we just use the burn effect. Right, let's get greedy. Let's get greedy. Because if we do find a trap card, it's so much better than anything else. Okay, that's fine. I don't even want to play this because it doesn't actually do anything here. So we're going to set. We'll go to battle phase. We will attack into Widespread Ruin, which will be this one. Ooh, so he's still holding Widespread, bro. Ooh. That stinks. Oh, God. We have been sacked to death here. There's nothing we can do here. He's had just all the... Wait, widespread there was just lethal, right? There's no way it's not widespread. No way it's not widespread. I mean, that's what? 13 plus 11. It's 26. And that's lethal on board. Alright, unfortunately, we could not chew through all the back row. We will save that replay, though. Because we did brick a little bit there, but we want to have a loss in there at some point, and it was an interesting deck that we did play against. Unfortunately, if we brick, we brick. There's not really much we can do about that. I had 2 red opening hand, drew the 3rd there. 2 red. Oh, Rex. Right. Yeah. You had such disgusting back row that entire game, Manicus. There was no way we could chew through all of that. My set wasn't widespread. What are you playing that you could activate there? The barrier? Not barrier. Was it their new shitty trap card that burns for 600? Alright, let's see what we got here. Karibot attack mode. Such a threatening opening play. Okay, so we're against Ancient Forces. That's the one where you mill and don't take damage this turn. Oh, it's the slime one. I refuse to buy that, mate. I'm not wasting gems on that, right? I think it's a good trap card, and I would probably run it in every deck, but I'm not pissing away my gems when we're not going to get cards from the latest box. Right, we have to do this in this very specific way to make this work. So Tribute 2, summon this out, activate the skill. Go for that, add a card back to hand, which has to be this. I think as well, as much as I want to get greedy, I think it's better to just not use extra spice effect here. Alright, now he's going to have the turn 1 widespread, because everyone always has the turn 1 widespread. And then we pass. Turn 1 widespread is becoming far, far too common these days, I feel. Turn 1 widespread into maximum value Ghost Cyclone. Watch him summon out Karibot now and get even more value, because he's just sacking the heck out of me. Okay, no Karibot at least. And it's Dragius. Oh, if it was Ancient Arise, it wouldn't be that bad, but Dragius is so bad for us here. If he summons out 2 other monsters as well, this is basically over. That's 4,400 damage on board right now. And 2 back row. Ugh. This is the issue. This is why turn 1 widespread is just so gross. Like, it's literally put him into a position where he can basically not lose. Like, him losing now would be so ridiculous. Right, we'll go Essel. Activate Essel. We'll summon out Kanan. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon. We'll activate our skill. Boost up Noodle Ninja. Add back to our hand another Fayaru. Normal summon. Normal summon. Activate the effect of Spice. Set. Go to battle. Swing with this. Swing with this. And swing with this. The issue is that now there are so many different ways we could just die. Like Phoenix Dragon, a second copy of Dragius is just death. Has he used Shield and Sword? No, Shield and Sword is just death. There are just so many ways that we just die here. All because of Widespread Ruin. Which is so crazy. I agree, it's not worth it at the mo, but I got super lucky and only spent 2.2k gems to get everything from the deck build box. Now, when you say you got everything, do you mean you got 3 copies of everything, or you got everything you wanted? 2.2k gems. I had to spend... I'm trying to think now, because it was what? I saved, like, whatever the total was, I only saved, like, 400 gems. So I think I spent something like 6,000 gems on that box. To get, 3 copies of everything. Stop messing with my graveyard. It's very important for my deck. Oh, wait, he's used Shield and Sword. Yeah, we've already lost. Like we said, there were so many cards that he could draw there to kill us. Again, entirely off of Widespread Ruin. None of that rest of the stuff would have mattered if it wasn't for the Widespread. Widespread Ruin is what won him the game there. Everything I wanted, I had the Slayers and had the Dragius. Oh yeah, but for me, it would be like, do you want to play the Volcano Attack Dragon deck, right? If you want to play that, you need... I'm trying to think now. Would you actually need 3 Volcano Attack Dragons? Probably not. Probably get away with like 1 or 2. Alright. Summon out Essil. Activate Essil. Summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2, Summon, activate the skill, add a card back to our hand. I think we are going to get greedy with this because there's a good chance we hit a normal summon here based on the cards that we have in hand and based on the cards that we've milled. So then we will set to, and we'll pass. I got 3 of every new. Ah, okay. I mean, that's very, very, very lucky to get that in only 2.2k gems. That's insane. I think one of the boxes I had to go to the very, very last pack. One of the boxes I had 5 packs left, and one I think I had like 6 packs left. But I had to go like right to the bottom. Okay. This is not the tastiest hand of all time. Looks like we're against Harpies as well. How do we want to play this? Do we go super aggressive? I don't necessarily think we have to here. Right, well, normal summon Canaan. Tribute over it. Summon this. Set this. We will activate our skill. Boost this up. Then we're just going to get a battle, and we're just going to attack. Then we'll just pass. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Okay, goes for the Essil, goes for the double mill. Does hit Widespread. Very, very good for us there. Tributes 2. Summons out Harpy's pet. Can't change my other monsters to attack, so we already have an attack position monster. Does get to boost the pet dragon up by quite a lot, which is a little bit scary for us. And the TSA, so he's going all in on a big damage push here. Alright, as long as we draw 1 or 2 boss monsters, we are pretty good to go here. But we do need to see 1 or 2 boss monsters off the top here. Come on, we're in such a good position if we can get 2 attacking monsters. I mean, that does count. That does count. But what do we end on here then? So we could summon, get those into grave, but then what attack do those even have? That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's no reason to keep this one around. So we summon. Or summon. We'll go ahead and tribute both. Activate our skill. Boost this up. Add a card to our hand. That's got to be Flavor Inspector. Now the issue is we hard lose. Just straight up immediately get obliterated by exactly Shield and Sword. So we're really hoping we don't see that come down. So now we'll use Savory. We'll go ahead and weaken this. Then we'll go to battle. We'll swing over this. And we'll swing over this. And then we'll swing over this. So we clean up the whole board, get him down to 22. Now again, we do just die to Shield and Sword, but there's nothing we can do about that. Tribute to the Doomed is something we do not just immediately die to, so maybe. The new Fire Dragon deck feels like a new variant of Servant of Dawn, but with built-in spell trap removal. Yes, I mean, in a way, I think the Noodle deck kind of feels like that as well. Like, depending on how you choose to play it. Just because, again, you get the skill, which could just boost your Cerberus or your Noodles up by 600. This gets a bit dicey because if he does have something to stop the attack, I get punished super hard, but I think we have to go for it either way. Ah, I did have something to stop the attack. There's nothing we could do about that, though. Like, we didn't have another way to get a monster above 25. Ah, TSA off the top, bro. Come on. Ah, that's just frustrating. There's nothing we could do about it. There was literally no other way to play that let us win this game. So if he's got a Harpy, we just die. If he doesn't have a Harpy Lady Sisters, we're fine. And he's got a Harpy Lady Sisters, because of course. Ah, that's so sad. I feel like we played that really well. He just got lucky. That's all it comes down to. Like, there was nothing else we realistically could have done there. I guess we'll save that replay. Because again, there was no like major mistakes. We did get to see what the deck can do. We just didn't draw any of our trap cards to actually protect us, whereas our opponent drew all of their trap cards to protect them. So there's not really much we can do about that. Oh, it's Gavin. Is this going to be our first time seeing the semi-ruler deck? Jesus Christ, deck. What is this? Okay, Essel might sort us out a little bit, especially if we can hit a... Canaan... Oh, 2 spells? Come on, Essel. You had 1 job. I think we're doing this, which sucks, but I don't think there's a better play. I don't think I can afford to end with this many cards. Because, like, if I end with 2 tribute monsters in hand, like, I'm just begging to not be able to play the game. Hey, Shy. Welcome, welcome. Sets 2. Summons out Urashima Warrior. Sets 2. Oh, I got the whole hand empty. That's very disappointing for us. More bricks. Okay. At least these are bricks we can do stuff with. So I'll summon out these two. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate the skill. Boost him up. Grab back Fyaru. We are just going to go ahead and YOLO the effect because we're so far behind we have to do whatever we can at this point. Is it even worth summoning this? Probably not. I think I'm actually just going to set this. Then we'll try and attack into this. Then we'll just pass. It is a little bit scary leaving him with 2 monsters because that means he can now do a full combo, but he can do the full combo with 1 monster, so it doesn't really make much difference in the difference between having 1 monster and 2 monsters on the field. Shield and Sword, the bane of our deck. But again, we can't really do anything about it. And we are hard bricking right now. Okay, here comes Karibot. Comes Semi-Ruler. Semi-Ruler's effect. Discard to summon out probably Urashima Sage. That goes up to 18. Piercing Samurai effect. Boost that. But then you have to put your Sage to defense mode. Otherwise, it's just going to change to defense. Okay, this could have been a lot worse, I think. I still have 2 bricks in hand, which is really not ideal. That is potentially pretty good. Changing the attack and defense doesn't help me out too much, though. Alright, we'll summon out Carrier. Activate Carrier effect. Grab this back. Summon. Then we'll Tribute 2. We'll activate our skill. Target this. Maybe we should have just taken out the other one. There are definitely merits for it. Summon, summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate his effect. Battle. Swing. Ah, no. Lame. I think we still go for the 28. Ah, so close. So close. Is there a new noodle skill? Yes, there is, Card Fighter. We have our new noodle skill, Noodle Art Reboot, which is pretty good. It's very restrictive, but we can choose a face at level 5 or higher normal monster on your field. It gains 600 attack to the end of this turn. Any 5 or higher monster on our field, not normal monster. Then if it was a level 7 or higher monster that was summoned this turn, you can add a pyro normal monster with 1300 or less attack to go to your hand, which means we can just gain resources, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, Extra Spice feels like he's letting the deck down a little bit, I think. I think maybe we have to just cut Extra Spice from this deck to make it better, which is a shame. The only good Noodle skill works better now because of the new support too. Noodle players eating good. That is for sure. It's 25 plus 300 right now. So that should be lethal. Yes, because he summoned it in the correct... Right, and he's got a talismanic. So why does everyone just always manage to finish up with the TSA, man? What's going on with that? I think we're going to try it out. As much as I really like Spice, or Extra Spice, I think he's actually letting the deck down right now. I think realistically, the better way to play this deck is going to be to go all in on Flame Serve and Spice. Maybe we can include just one copy of Extra Spice, just to try and get like the curve in a good spot. Our trap cards, again, are really not doing much for us. I still think Pierce is quite good, but it really depends on the situation. Art of Savory is also being a bit weird for us right now. I want to try it out with the TSA, I think. I think we don't need this in here anymore then. Let's try this out. See if this feels any better or worse. Maybe I should be including... Maybe we should try out the other Noodle art card anyway. Why don't you like the other art? Because the other art is... It's very... kind of all in, right? It's basically... This card doesn't do anything unless you've kind of got like a really good board already set up. It's awkward to use, I think, is the answer. Because the other thing is that TSA and Savory actually out a max, whereas Noodle Art of Roastery will not always out a max. And that's the major weakness of it, right? It's like, I think Noodle Art of Roastery is not inherently a bad card, but I think Noodle Art of Roastery is more of a card that you say... I'm looking to 1 in 4 games absolutely destroy my opponent for 10,000 damage. And in the average game, it's not going to be doing much. I think in the average game, you're going to get more value out of TSA or out of Savory. Because you're able to just weaken something immediately. You get like an immediate tangible effect. Whereas a lot of the time, Noodle Art of Roastery is going to be win more. And I don't like that as much. So like... I'm not necessarily saying Roastery is bad, and I'm not even saying that, like, you should be playing other cards over it. I just feel like more of the time, Roastery isn't going to do as much. But I mean, I'm willing to try out one copy. The only issue with this build of the deck now is now outing maximums becomes a bit precarious, right? Right, let's try this build out, see how it feels. That's what we're going to do. Let's see how it feels. Because we were on quite a good winning streak. And then it's kind of tumbled down since then, which is a little bit disappointing. Hey, Elmaz. Welcome on in. Alright. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a Yuga player. This could be Seven's Exo Road. This could be Magnum Overlord. We did play against a Yuga player earlier, but I don't think he was using this map. So I think this is a different player. Right, we set this, we're also going to set this, and we're going to set this. I think this is how we're going to play this. Let's see what he's got. We want to use the Essel effect, ideally. We want to be milling cards into our graveyard. What's your opinion on the new Rush Box? The new Rush Box is fine. None of it is, like, crazy exciting, which I think is the most, like, disappointing part, is we were hoping for something that would really shake things up. Oh, he's just playing Thunder Aggro. Snore. Okay, so we're not going to get... Wait, you didn't use the effect? Or did he use the effect and I missed it? He must have used it, right? I just missed it. Yeah, he did. Okay. Unfortunately, now we need to see a boss monster to out this, but any of our bosses will do. There is one of our bosses, so that will out it. So we'll summon, activate the effect. Milling those cards kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We'll tribute, summon out. We'll go ahead and use our skill. Boost him up. We'll normal summon. We'll set. We'll go to battle. We'll clear the Dragius. And we'll clear a Gazelle. But unfortunately, we are also already well on the back foot, as well as the fact our board is not particularly good. We don't have any back row to protect it. So it's a bit awkward. Is it worth digging for one Slayer? Slayer is only worth it if you're planning to play Resonance. If you're planning to play Resonance, yeah, it's worth going into it, because you can't really play the deck to full power without it. Okay, weakening that one is a little bit telling. Okay, Duckbill, give up a card from our hand, get back the Trigger Drago. Tribute 2 for the Trigger Drago, then what? 2 cards left in hand. What are they? Another Silver Wolf. So that means you can now crash with it. Not too worried about that, to be honest. Okay. Now we just need, again, any boss monster clears this. We just need to draw any of them. Okay, there is one. It's not the best one, unfortunately. But it is one. So Tribute 1, Tribute 2, Summon. Summon this. Go ahead and use Extra Spice. Send it to grave, burn for 1,000, draw a card. Unfortunately, that's not the best card we could have drawn. This is where it gets funky. I think we still go for the damage. We don't have a ton of life points left, and again, if he just has Shield and Sword, we just die, but we always die to Shield and Sword anyway, so we have to try and get damage in where we can. So I'll pass on that. Now again, there are so many ways we just die here. Let's see what he does. I don't think Rush has been out long enough for a deck build or pickup box. I mean, it's their way to give us as few cards as possible, but in like a reasonable time frame, I guess. That's the logic of them giving us a deck build box. True, but the card pool is smaller than Speed, so they've got to do something for new content. The thing is, we have been getting content in the physical game faster than we've been getting it in Duel Links, which is very weird. Ah, this is lame. That's just game, isn't it? Ooh, probably 100 plus 12 plus 1. Okay, this is not game because he didn't have another normal summon. 2 back row, though, that we have to chew through. We know what one of them is. We don't have any back row hate in the deck anyway, so that's not going to matter too much. Alright. We go Carrier, we activate Carrier. We bring back Kanan. We summon Essel. We activate Essel. We Tribute 2. We summon. We summon. We summon. We Tribute 2. Oh! So we had nothing then. Okay, okay, we take that. We take that. Alright, well, game 1 with the new build already feels pretty nice. I think it's just the extra body off the skill. I guess, well, it's everything. The new skill is just decent, right? It just makes the old deck better. I was hoping that Extra Spice would feel a little bit better, but it's okay. I'm asking because I saw some people run 2 Slayers for dragons, and I already have 1. So dragons is a bit of a nebulous term, right? Because there's like lots of dragon decks. You can play like the Dragon Aggro, you can play Ancient Arise, you can play the new Fire Dragon deck, and you can play Dragonic Resonance. So there's like 4 dragon builds, and all of them are kind of tournament worthy. But if you want to play like the pure Resonance, I would say you want to have 3 Slayer. But if you don't want to play that deck, or you don't want to play it like in the pure version, it really doesn't matter. Alright, let's see what Gavone has for us. We've got a whole hand empty, which is quite nice for turn 1. A guy in our Rushwell server by the name of Parko runs 2 Slayer, 2 Bunker, and 2 Dragius for resonance ratios. But hasn't Parko also notoriously been doing quite poorly on the resonance deck? Are we playing against Burn? What's going on here? Okay, there's no point in using our back row on this. He has, that was before he changed the ratios. Ah, okay. So I'm not a huge fan of Bunker. Like, I like the card Bunker. I don't think I prefer it over, like, playing Triple Slayer. Okay, we will... Normal. Normal. Wait, before I do this, What are my back rows again? Pierce isn't going to do anything. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure I didn't have like a sword and shield or something I might want to use. So we'll activate Noodle Art Reboot. Target. And we will add back to our hand Flavor. We'll summon out Fyaru. Summon out Taste. We'll activate Spice. We'll set another back row. We'll go to battle. Swing in. Okay, so we've got his widespread, which is already quite nice. We'll still go ahead and clear this. Okay. Then we'll pass. So far, Combustion Crisis has done nothing. Like, in any of the games we've seen it. It's just, it burns for 600. That is what it does. Oh, he's literally playing a burn deck. That's his strategy. Okay. He's trying to do degen stuff. That's what he's doing. Before he was on 3 Slayer, 1 Bunker. I lost a lot against him the other night when testing. With the sports getting unhit, they're pretty consistent. 2 Dragius, 2 Bunker. It's fine, not bad. How'd you burn? Oh, yeah, I remember you saying about this, Manicus. I didn't know what was going on with that. Hope you're okay. I have a burned deck. It's basically Cyburst with zombies to burn. What, using, is it Bespectacle Manny? Is that one? No, it's the other one, isn't it? It's the one that burns called. I really cannot remember. Yeah, sure, we'll widespread you. I don't really need to use that, so I don't think we will. Taking the 200 shouldn't make too much difference. Positioning back to defense mode. Right, we'll just drop the shield and sword here. Summon. Activate. We can then normal summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. Activate our skill. Boost up the spice. Add a card to our hand. Yes, I would love to grab. It doesn't really matter. It's going to get tributed off anyway. We'll summon. We'll tribute off the Fyaru. We'll activate Spice. We'll flip over the Pierce. Swing over this. Kaboom. And then we'll swing over this for game. Nice. Is the new Rush box out? Yes, it is, Quantum. The deck build box is indeed out. We just played against someone playing a burn deck in Rush. It didn't do very well, but I liked that we saw it. Might try and dig for the second Slayer? Yeah? Good, you got me scared in Grand's Rush. Yeah, it was just... I couldn't tell if there was like a joke happening or something at the time. Is someone making a tourney today? I don't think so. I haven't heard of any. There's a Japanese tournament on Thursday. That is about all I know. I haven't seen anyone else post any Rush tournaments today. Just double check that like Evil isn't posting something. No, no one's posted anything, so I don't think so. Hey, Dewan! Welcome, welcome. It's funny how this all works. I always notice around this time people start showing up in chat, and that's because that's when Luke stops streaming. So I can't fault anyone for that. I'd be watching Luke if I wasn't streaming. I'll do one? Oh, heck yeah. I'm down for a Quantum Rush. Especially with all the new stuff. It's NA wake up time. Ah. That also does make sense. Oh, this hand is crusty, but we can make something happen here. So we'll set. And we will just tribute set this, because it actually has an okay amount of defense. Then we'll pass. Rider Swords, may I ask, what did you cog with? Oh, what did I cog with this season? Oh, don't pressure me turn 1, bro. What did we cog with? We cogged with... Wasn't Harpies. Might have been Ancient Arise. He just wiped out my entire board. That makes me sad. Right, we'll go Essel. Then we'll go Essel. We just milled a whole bunch of stuff, and none of it was normal monsters, which is so very sad. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon the boy. Activate the skill. Boost up Spice. Add a card to hand. Add back the Fyaru. Summon Kanan. Summon Fyaru. Set a back row. Activate Spice. Go to battle. Swing for 14. And if we had hit... So we just milled there, by the way. 2 effect monsters and 2 spells. So if we had hit 4 normal monsters, which there are quite a lot on the deck, obviously, we could have got an extra 800 damage in there, which is actually quite a big difference. Also, where is Reedy? I don't know, Quantum! People are now speculating that it's going to be in a mini box that should be out in 2 to 3 weeks, is kind of what we're expecting. Because we're also missing some other stuff. We're missing Ice Arc, we're missing Metagear, there's like a ton of stuff that we're still missing, which is kind of sad. Alright, let's just use this. Let's get rid of that. We should just win anyway. Just like that. Right, we'll save that one. I don't know if we actually want to keep that one, but that might be the best last one that we get. Right, what I should do is go and delete a replay as well, just so I can have an extra chance for another one. So we go back to our replays. Not going to need this one. Back to our ranked games. I'm fully expecting a Super Mini and maybe a structure next month for Blue Eyes. Yes, I think Blue Eyes structure now seems to make a lot more sense. As well as, I don't know about a Super Mini. But again, I'm going off of like a precedent that hasn't actually been set. So my logic as to why I didn't think it would be a Super Mini is that the last Super Mini came after a Mini and gave support for the stuff that was already in that Mini. But we haven't had a Mini to have a Super Mini for yet, if that makes sense. So I'd almost like to see a Mini come out, but I guess that's also because I want to see a lot of the other like cards come out, right? Like chairs, like the space cards, like the water warrior cards and stuff. Alright, let's see if we can get anything out of Essel. I mean, that is something. I don't think it's worth playing. Yeah, it's just not worth summoning, is it? Right. So we'll set. Bring out Serb. Activate the skill. Boost up Serb. We'll set. Go to battle, and we'll swing into this. Boop. And we'll just pass. Right. So he's probably has back row hate. He probably has a TSA face down. Konami's actions never make sense if you ask me. They can do whatever they like. I mean, they can. 100% they can. What's your favorite new card? Ooh. I really like Extra Spice, but Extra Spice is... After testing with it a bunch, I really like it, but I don't think it fits in this deck. Like, I don't think it plays very well with the noodle stuff. I think you're better off just playing Original Spice and just using the new skill with it, which is disappointing. Ah, oh, come on, don't taunt at me, bro. Taking enough damage here as it is. Let alone the extra 600 from Torna. See, now we're getting into the danger zone, because he's got a card in hand. We know he's going to put a maximum piece back to the top. So there's a looming maximum threat currently. Oh, we're still not seeing our other big guys, which is a shame. We can go at 26. We'd have to go 13 up by 8. There's no way we do 8. Which means we have to clear that. Right, we'll summon out Essel. Activate Essel effect. Milling the widespread, really not ideal, but it is what it is. So now we'll tribute off the Essel. We'll set another back row. We're going to set Flavor Inspector. I'm going to go ahead and activate our skill again. We'll boost Serb. And then we have to just, again, attack over this, which does kind of suck. But I think taking massive hits from Seven's Road is way worse than Torna just getting in our life points a little bit. If he has the max, we just die anyway. He had to get a little bit lucky to get the max out, so... Hopefully he hasn't gotten out a second Seven's Road, because that would really suck. What do you think of the bundle card for Rush? I think the card is good. I think there are very few like Waboku type effects, which, oh, for God's sake, he's drawn like the actual God Hand. Although, if he's got a maximum piece in hand, he won't discard. He is discarding anyway. So he had double SRM. Okay. We're taking some good damage here. But we're not just like straight up dead. Alright, we are very well set up. We just need to draw like an okay-ish hand here. That is terrible. That could not go much worse. We really needed boss monsters, as we have seen 0 of our spice. We have, what? We've only seen 2 of our bosses, so we have 5 left in the deck. That's really, really unlucky. Are we just dead? Is there anything we can do here? No, we're pretty much boned. Okay. Alright, I think we have to do a really silly play, but I think it's this or nothing. So, we summon these 3. Oh, I can't do it because I need level 7. Oh, that is dreadful. In which case, we have just thrown even harder than we were already throwing. At least this way, I guess we have a guaranteed way to get rid of this. Which is something. Is that just straight up death? We take 600 and then we take 6 plus 8. Yeah, he just has lethal on board. There's nothing we can do there. Even if we had put one in defense, it wouldn't have mattered because he could just change them back to attack. So realistically, we were just dead there anyway from just not seeing boss monsters. Are there search cards in Rush TCG? No, there are no cards in the game that search your deck at all. So the only way in Rush to search your deck is with a skill. There is no way in the physical game, or the modern game, to search your deck. Every single way we kind of have effects that are like that, it's like, look at the top X cards, like Excavate, right? I beat Nail with 7,200 life points. Nice! Right, Essel, unfortunately, just keeps showing up at like the worst time. Right, this is unfortunately a really crappy opening hand. Let's see what we get. As him as level 10? Nice. Right, goes for the Twin Edge. Hits a 1,000 defense. Hits a 0 defense. Hits a 1,000 defense. That is unfortunately also not very good for us. I think we have to do this. So tribute, tribute, summon. Activate the skill. Boost him up. Add a card back to our hand. We add back Fyaru. We'll summon. We'll summon. We'll activate Spice. We're just going to set this. We're going to go to battle. I'm going to try and attack over this. I'm going to attack over this. Then we'll clear this. And then we'll just pass. 36 is nice early damage. Let's see what he's got for us. Slugger. So now he can only attack with high-level monsters. Obviously he's playing Resonance, so he's going to be able to do that anyway. Rebukes 2. Summons out the Shock Dragon. So he's going to be able to weaken Spice. And he's going to be able to weaken him all the way down to 0 and pop our back row. That's pretty good. Pierce isn't doing anything for us right now anyway. But that's not the end of the world. We do get to keep a 1300 body as well, which is quite nice. I think we always do this, right? We always shield and sword. We don't currently have one in grave. So we're going to summon out Kanan. Tribute. Tribute. Summon. Normal up Carrier. Activate Carrier. Grab back Kanan. Summon the Kanan. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Activate Reboot. Target. Add a card back to hand. Add back Fyaru. Normal. Activate Spice. Activate Spice. Go to battle. Attack for lethal. Oh, that's so cringe, bro. Come on. Anything but that exact trap card is lethal. We even would have killed him through... Why? Was it the only card in the game? Oh, that is so sad. That was that. This was our win, and we have just been robbed. We have been robbed so hard. By cringy McCringeface here. That is so sad, bro. We played that immaculately. We had to get exactly what we got. We played it perfect. We played around every back row in the game except the one we couldn't play around. That's disappointing. That is disappointing. Right, let's see if we can take on Dank Magician instead. Instead of getting sacked by the last guy, let's see if we can beat this guy in a fair, honourable duel. That is really not a good open. This is an okay going first hand. This is not an okay going second hand. Okay, set 4 pass. That is a really bad draw as well. I think we have to just set. Our win con now is that hope he doesn't have Dragius. If he doesn't have Dragius, we're kind of okay. If he has Dragius, the game is basically already over. Okay, things are looking okay. I'm just going to pass. I'm not even going to set a back row. If one of his back row is a back row hate, and he doesn't have any tribute monsters, then we are in such a good position. Okay, Volcano attack is fine. Again, this deck is going to struggle to chew through defense monsters, so... Alright, we're just gonna play defense. We don't need to worry about anything else. We will set this and just let him pop it, because there's no reason to just sit on it in our hand and draw one less card each turn. Last turn it didn't matter because we were only drawing one card regardless. We're not going to bother using our trap card here. Alright, let's see what we draw. I guess we go for it, right? We'll go Seahorse, activate. grab this back. And then tribute, summon. We'll set. And we will probably set this, actually. We're going to go ahead and activate Noodle Art Reboot. Target this. Then we're going to walk into one of his traps, but that's fine. We have to get rid of the traps at some point anyway. And this is probably the safest time that we have. Okay, and a widespread for that is really good. No, we do not care about that. The issue now is he's going to pop our back row for free. Which we expected, which means we are going to take 2,900 damage here. Which is not ideal, but also not, like, awful, I guess. Especially since, again, without Adragius, he can't actually get to our life points other than us walking into his back row. So we're in, like, an okay spot. Obviously, we'd rather not lose half our life points, but necessary evil. Alright, so here we're just going to set 3 pass. Because, again, we don't really have a good way to threaten his board right now. We really need 2 boss monsters. Okay, that accomplishes very little. Right, there's another boss monster. I guess this is where we do start playing the game. So we'll go Seahorse Carrier. We'll activate the effect. We'll take back Kanan. We'll then summon out Essel. Fire off Essel effect. Mill some cards. We got 2 normals, which is exactly what we wanted to mill. Tribute. Summon. Then we're going to normal. The issue again is if he just has a shield and sword, we once again get absolutely destroyed, and there is nothing we can do about that. It's just, please don't have it. So, I guess please don't have it. Okay, he had it. But we still kill through. Oh, okay. We managed to defeat the Dank Magician using the power of Noodles. Yeah, Noodles is a weird one. I don't think... I guess it's what we said earlier, right? I feel like Noodles feel really strong. 1 in like 4 games, you get to like pop off and have like a really strong turn. But when they're not doing that, they just feel a little bit lackluster. I think that's kind of where we're at right now with the Noodles. I like them. I think they're very fun when they're working, but they're not consistent enough, and they have the same problems Noodles always had, where they really struggle to get your opponent's life points, as well as they're a little bit defenseless against cards like Shield and Sword and Sword and Shield. I would say they probably feel a bit like a tier 3 deck right now, to be honest. That's an awkward open, but I guess it is what it is. So this could be Harpies. This could be Noodles. This could be anything else. Essel. Straight into a 2,500 attacker. We're getting high rolled. We're getting high rolled. Okay. Tributes for a Harpy. Luckily, it's the worst Harpy, so that one doesn't matter too much. Boost up to 26. Flip this up. We take so much damage. This is really not looking good for us. It's way too early as well, so our graveyard is not set up for any of the other cards that we have on the field. And that is also a really bad draw. Ooh. Okay. Is there any way we can make something big happen. I actually almost think we have to use this just to clear the board. Right, so we are going to use Shield and Sword. Okay, we are going to summon out Spice. I'm going to use Reboot, boost up Spice, and take back Flavor. Summon Flavor, activate Spice. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to do anything else here. Oh, wait a minute. If I use that, I could boost these up again. Reduce that by 1,000. That would be... How many do we have in Grave? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could give my board an extra 800 boost, which would be... No, that's not enough, unfortunately. That would only be 5,700, and I couldn't even get all that damage in. It's worth looking at, though. So we'll clear this. Boom. And we'll clear this. Now, if we don't just die, we potentially can do something on the crackback here. We have a trap card to try and keep us alive, but it depends how big he gets, right? If he can just get up to a 3,100 attacker, it doesn't matter anyway. And there's the one that we need to worry about. So if he has Trick Pigeon, it gets scary. Ooh. There's a high chance we just die now. That's what he does. He might attack in the wrong order. He might prioritize clearing the board. Right, if he attacks in the wrong order, we live. But he has lethal on board. Okay, attacked in the wrong order. Alright. Unfortunately, we can't use Roastery because we need level 7. Otherwise, I think we would just straight have lethal. Attack over that. We have to weaken that then. Oh no, we just weaken that and attack over that. Okay, so... No matter what, we can't use Roastery anyway. So we're going to summon out Stock. We Tribute for you. He can go up to 26 with any of the Harpies. So that would attack over us, but it wouldn't kill us. So if we do set 2, there is a chance that we live. Alternatively, we weaken his guy down to 11. Attack over it with 27, which means he'll take 16. Put him down to 11. Although he wouldn't, because we'd attack over that one. So he'd lose 12, putting him down to 15. We'd attack over that for... Yeah, that should just be lethal. So we'll summon. We'll summon. We'll activate Noodle Art Reboot. Boost this. We'll activate Seal Array. Weaken this down. So this clears this. This clears this. And this hits direct. Oh, okay. We did get it. Did Cyburst get any buffs today? Cyburst did get a couple of new cards. Nothing like crazy. The cards they got were both like consistency tools. But they did get some cards, right? They also didn't get the new skill yet. So I imagine that will come in the next couple of days. You know, as the event continues. But even then, that new skill I don't think's particularly good, personally. Right, let's see what Shuck has for us. It's Yuga Odo. Alright. Let's Spice. I guess we go Essel. We activate it. We'll Tribute set this out. Then we'll set. And set up Pierce. and then pass the turn. Have you tried Monster Reincarnation in this deck? So, Monster Reincarnation is not a bad card, right? Because you can use it to get back specifically the spices. The spice is like the main thing you'd want to get back with it. The issue that I have with Monster Reincarnation is the discard, right? The main reason this deck is doing as well as it is that we get to plus off of the skill. And if we then add a discard into the mix, we're then like not plussing anymore. So like it's awkward. Do we have a fire monster? We do. So I can summon, activate the effect, mill a couple cards. Those were bad mills, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We'll then summon and attribute 2. Then I'm going to activate the skill. The benefit from Reincarnation is most cases you want to have it set the turn before using it. The downside to that is a lot of the time when we have been setting cards, a lot of the time they're just getting popped straight up because we're not playing that many back row. At least that's how the games have gone today. But again, a big part of that is going to be because we're skewed towards having a lot of pressure opponents right now, right? Right, we'll drop the TSA. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we'll leave that engraved. We'll put that back. Weaken one of these. Got the Pierce. Right, attack over this. Attack over this. And we'll attack over this. We got him down to 500. Which obviously is not death, but it's very close to death. Okay, we'll take that. We take that. Oh, and with that, that is going to be the end of the stream. How's the new Pyro skill? The skill itself is great. The weakness is a lot of other things, like the boss monsters all having 0 defense, kind of stinks. Not having particularly good back row for them also kind of hurts, but it's okay. That's kind of what we're saying. I think the new skill makes them playable, I guess. Before, they kind of felt very one-trick, and now they feel like they have a little bit more going on. But that is going to be it for us today. We will be back again on Thursday with more Rush Duel goodness, because again, we still got more Rush stuff to test. We've only been testing Noodles today. Noodles have been fun. We enjoyed playing Noodles, but we have got other stuff to test. So, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.